They go in not letting Cena call the finish in the ring.
Bring it on. Want some, get some. Can I get a hell yeah? Yes, I am a pirate. You have to go with the pirates because, of course, they have cannons and everything. It's a pirate's life for me. Be proud of who you are and what you are. You're a pirate.
It is a first down.
Because when you're at East Carolina, you go for it every time. Or you don't coach at East Carolina, you don't come to East Carolina, you don't play at East Carolina with a weak heart. Write it.
I think I've ever been in a building as loud as that was. It was deafening in there.
You live with Omaha? I can promise you that. And it's purple all night long in Eastern North Carolina.
You're watching The Sports Objective, the podcast for Pirates.
My heart is purple and gold. I'm a pirate down to my soul, and I don't back down, not at all. Find out when the cannons explode.
All right, welcome into TSO Sunday Night. That's because obviously we don't have the Pirate Football playback. I am Dave Richmond. I'm glad to be with you. I've been waiting literally for like 8 hours to do the show, and we've got a long way to go and a short time to get there. Right, Kyle, the Bandit Barber?
Yeah, Dave has actually been sitting here in the studio, the virtual studio, the StreamYard studio, for the last 8 hours, just waiting for the show. Yeah, Kyle the Bandit Barber. That's interesting. I kind of like that. Hey, what's going on, guys? As we see here on
one of my favorite. That was not a slam on Kyle. That's one of my favorite movies. So,
well, hey, Dave, that also was on my playlist. Coming down 95. I definitely listened to that.
Eastbound and down, loaded up in truck. Jerry
Yes, sir.
one of his best songs, not his best song, but one of his best. Okay, yeah. So I'm off track here. So yeah, Sunday night. We are 2 weeks from the bowl game, a little less. Hard to believe. Practice will get going for that this week. Was hoping we'd have an offensive coordinator in place. I know Jordan Davis, the OC from North Texas, was interviewed yesterday. Doesn't sound like it was. The decision has been made at this time. So interesting to see where that goes. Garrett Riley's name keeps coming up. I'm sure we'll hear some other names. I would hope we would have a hire made this week, but you want to get the right one, but you just fear the candidates you won't end up going somewhere else if you don't pull the trigger here soon.
No doubt. Let's bring in former linebacker in the Steve Logan era for our great Pirates, Matt Semenza.
What's up, guys? I was definitely going through a little bit of withdrawal this weekend without a lot of college football on. Obviously missing watching the Pirates play, but we did have a great Army-Navy game. Yeah. I think that was pretty entertaining to watch. The Boise-Washington game was really odd to me. I can't remember a bowl game ever being that early in December. Maybe I'm wrong about that, but
no, you're right.
It's just the whole thing felt odd.
Last year, the whatever bowls played in Montgomery was played the same Saturday as the Army-Navy game last year, so it's too soon. And if you're going to do it, though, last year in that bowl in Montgomery, nobody was involved in the championship game previous weekend. Boise State had no time to get ready for that bowl game, plus do bowl activities. They played a championship game last Saturday or Friday night, rather, then turn around and play that bowl game. So when did they get to practice for us plus participate in bowl activities? I don't understand how that would even be possible. You played a bowl game 7 days after your championship game. You typically go to the bowl 4 days before the bowl, typically at least. Yep. So I don't know, but you certainly saw the difference. Washington blew them out.
Yeah, it was so odd, and it showed.
Bowl,
you said, it showed. I mean, Boise looked horrendous. So interesting weekend. The Cena thing, guys. Wow, that was awful. You guys roped me into watching that. I rented, the Peacock app for I guess I got like a month pass to watch that thing. I didn't understand any of that. How do you first of all make him lose, and then zero drama, zero excitement. So yeah, Just interesting weekend for sports.
Yeah, well, that's the thing is that we'll go ahead and knock the Cena thing out really quick. Thanks to Kyle and Stevie for having that watch party. Personally, like Cena is one of the best all time in the WWE, and so for me, I'm not surprised that they screwed it up. I was hoping that I would be, like pleasantly surprised, but it doesn't surprise me at all because I think Kyle, I think you've said it before to give you credit, but don't you think a lot of times, and we will get to talking football here in a second for those that are tuning in for EC football, but Kyle, don't you think? I think you've said this before. They overthink things at the WWE.
Yeah, if anything, they underthought that. Traditionally, when somebody retires, you go out with your shoulders on the mat. That is not unusual. You go out looking up at the lights. You put a young guy over. You pass the torch, if you will, however you want to say it. It was the way it ended. It was too abrupt. There was no, there was a little build to it, but there should have been more drama. I think Cena's tap should have been more dramatic. It was just too. And I don't even know if that's the right way to do it anymore. Sometimes traditions need to be changed. There's really very few casual WWE fans anymore, and so back in the day, when a casual fan, when we believed it was real, even the diehards, or you
Wait a minute,
played along with it.
It
yeah,
is.
well, yeah, it was still real to you, damn it. Or you played along with it. The heat would go on. Gunther. Gunther just beat your hero. He just beat John Cena, who's retiring. And now, you beat Cena in his last match. There's a way to get a heel over and put heat on him. But now in 2025, everybody is so locked in that watches it, that by and large, particularly that buy a ticket on what goes on. And, everybody's smart, so to speak. And you look at the internet sites, and the heat went on Triple H. When Triple H, who's the booker now and CFO for WWE, when he came out, along with a lot of the WWE talent and other WWE executives, to congratulate Cena or pay homage to Cena, the crowd chanted, "You effed up" at Triple H.
Suck balls, man.
Yeah, and you suck, and they were chanting AEW at him at
Wow.
at the press conference after the show. So I think maybe in 2025, the old passing the torch thing may be antiquated. They maybe should have saved Cena. Maybe should have had him go over somebody. Had his last match against
beat somebody.
Somebody, not Gunther, because Gunther doesn't need to lose another high profile match, but pick somebody else. And I almost think it would have been taken better, him losing, if it would have been a controversial finish. Or Stevie, see if you agree with this. If they would have waited had not had that stupid tournament and had him and Dominic Mysterio wrestle, and then Dominic take the IC title back the same way he did at Survivor Series with the controversial finish with oh my God, I can't think of her name right now. How do I forget her name? I love her.
Liv Morgan.
Liv Morgan, yeah. If they had done that finish and did that whole match from Survivor Series for Cena's last match, I think it would have went over a lot better.
I agree. And as far as tapping out goes, I think it was a weak way to do it. I think if they'd have kind of done the
had him pass out. If you're going to do
exactly, that's what I was getting ready to say. Have him pass out,
like Austin against Brett.
Because that's one of his things. He always said, "Never give up."
Yes, exactly.
So had him pass out.
If it was on Peacock, had him get some color, aka bleed, and then have him pass out with Gunther having the submission note on him, that would have worked. But I didn't like the way they did it. No problem with him losing, although I do argue now in 2025 if that what you should still do. But
he made a comment a lot that he wanted to do what was right for the business, and he wanted to put.
I don't know if that's what's right for the business anymore. I think it used to be.
I mean, I think it's hurt more than anything today. You look at the comments today, and it's hurt. Will it hurt WWE's business? I don't know.
I think the problem is they had him lose so damn much going out anyway. You didn't have Cena on this hot streak and then lose. You saw him lose to Dominique at Survivor Series. You saw him lose to
Brock.
You saw him lose to Brock at in September at WrestlePalooza. So he's lost too many high-profile matches lately. That's another thing. Nobody really wanted to see him lose again. So I think the whole thing with his retirement tour was screwed up from the beginning when they involved The Rock in it and the brief heel turn that went nowhere. But I don't know. There was some rumors, and we'll get off this topic for people who are waiting for ECU football.
It's coming. I promise.
But Stevie, do you take any validity into with him smiling and Gunther's reaction that they let Cena call it in the ring, that they had let Gunther know?
I'm starting to wonder. Yeah, I'm starting to wonder myself with that. I mean, because the smile. Because me and you didn't notice that last night.
And Gunther looks up at the referee and asks, "Did he tap?"
He tapped. Yeah, I mean, everybody was shocked. So,
and look, here's people who wonder that the finishes are real. So, not okay. Let me explain that. Somebody just busted out laughing. The finishes are planned. They're scripted, but the officials really have a job to do. They have to. They don't ring that bell until they see Cena really has to tap, and you don't count 3 unless your shoulders are down. So things like that do matter. And they can let the guy, it's very rarely done, but you tell Gunther going into a match, Cena's going to call the finish in the ring. He's going to decide whether he's going to give up or put you over, or he's going to win in the ring. And then Gunther goes, okay, whatever Cena calls is what we'll do. And I'm not so sure that they didn't leave it up to Cena to decide in the ring, and he called that finish on his own. I don't know.
Here's my thing, Kyle, and maybe you'll disagree. Do you think the smile when he tapped out kind of hurts it?
If he called it on his own, no. In fact, I think if that was the case, that would be the best thing right now for Triple H and WWE for that to come out. But I don't know. I didn't like it at all. If I find out that was the case, that was Cena's decision, that he called it, I'm much more okay with it. But again, to me in that situation, I think historically Gunther wins in 2025. I'm not sure that's what you do anymore. But if you're going to do it with Cena's character, I would have had him pass out. Or if you weren't going to just do a pinfall finish or a controversial finish, have him pass out.
Kenneth Maynard, he says he thinks they're setting up Gunther for Lesnar, versus Lesnar for WrestleMania.
Yeah, Stevie, tell him what you had speculated the finish would be.
The thing I thought was going to happen, I think would have been better ending to this, would have Lesnar come out, try to interfere in the match, and hit Gunther by accident, and Cena wins, but that sets up Gunther and Lesnar at WrestleMania.
By the way, guys, before we have Kenneth actually get a second master's degree from Matt from Florida. University of Florida.
Very nice.
Congratulations, Kenneth.
That
is
nice. I want to give Kenneth a shout out because you're awesome, and appreciate him.
Look, so there you go. Second master's degree talking about professional wrestling.
You're a great guy, Kenneth. You are.
And then last night, texted me during the event and watching the show along with the legendary Matt Semenza. The watch along with was the good Dr. John Bream. Who's a wrestling fan.
Oh, yeah. Wrestling isn't just for rednecks like me and Kyle.
Exactly. You got the highbrow folks watching too.
Yeah.
All right. So
we're going to go to Mount Pilot and watch some wrestling in a little while.
That's right. Over at the gymnasium.
Well, hey, Matt. So I'm going to start with Matt tonight. What are your thoughts?
Go ahead, first. I know we got
Here, go JR's here. You got to introduce JR.
I'm sorry, JR. Hello, JR. How are you? Agree with
wow, man, Dave. I'm feeling great because I was feeling down earlier today. I was feeling foolish actually for driving all the way from Virginia to watch a couple of Pirate basketball games. But hey, at halftime, they had a guy in the Buffalo. That's who we played today. Was Buffalo. Buffalo had a player who was their shooting guard. He had 29 points at halftime. The Pirates had 28. We were down by 21 points, but luckily we didn't tap out and we kept playing. And Riley Jordan, does what he does. He had 31 points, career high.
Oh, yeah.
And the Pirates came back and they won. That's the largest comeback in Pirate basketball history, 21 points. So, I think this is like the 10th time that Mike Schwartz has engineered a double-digit comeback. So I mean, I wish he wouldn't go to, I wish that wasn't necessary because there was no need for us to be down by 21 points. But we saw some great defense today for a change.
I'm sorry, but every time I hear his name from now on, especially with the thing Matt put up today, I'm going to think of Spaceballs. The Schwartz is strong with you.
Let's be with you.
Yeah, Schwartz.
Yeah, Johnny, the fact that you traveled all the way to that game, I'm glad they were able to pull that one out because that was brutal at halftime.
Thursday,
it was.
Seriously, like I was so aggravated at halftime. I can't win with ECU when it comes to basketball. If I don't bet the other team, the other team will win by a ton. If I bet against ECU, then we'll pull out a 21-point come from behind victory. So
keep betting against them, Matt, please.
Yeah, I lost money today, and I have zero shame. I have zero shame saying that I bet against ECU today because of the product we have on the floor. And I lost that bet too. So this team continues to burn me in more ways. It seems like every game. But hey, seriously, a nice comeback victory. We did show a pulse in the second half defensively.
Yeah.
We got after it a little bit. Jordan Riley, he literally put that team on his back and carried them. So nice job by him today.
Yeah. By the way, here's a segue for you, Kyle Barber. What is the line on the game versus Pitt? I know that we had talked on Wednesday night. I believe the money had moved to ECU, but how are things now?
Still 4.
I guess Kyle fell asleep.
Sorry, no, I was responding to a message. The line is 4?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow, it went down to our favor.
But it dropped quick. It dropped from 6 to 4 quick, and early money is usually smart money. So
okay, they're still favored though. So, but they didn't. I'm surprised with John David Baker leaving. The line hasn't moved any. Good thing is, as of right now, Hauser said he's playing in the bowl game. No indication that he's transferring. But line is 4. That is interesting. Dude. If we figure out a way to win this game, I think so many people have been distracted, JR, about with the coaching carousel and the staff changes, and they haven't really been focused on the game. And I guess we'll get more focused on it in the next week or so. But if this game would be huge, really, if we won it. Pitt is a really good football team.
Yep.
But here's why the line went down. I have a feeling. I put this stat out there. Pitt is 2-11 after November 1st in the last 3 seasons, and both wins came against Georgia Tech. They can't beat anybody else after November 1st. And Narduzzi at Pitt is 2-5 in bowl games. So, why should we have any confidence that Pitt's going to come out there and put up a winning product? They're not.
Those are some great stats there.
Yeah,
and,
I love that. That's why we have here.
Yeah. So often these bowl games come down to who wants to be there the most and who is the most engaged, mentally and prepared for that game. And, I'm a little concerned right now from ECU's perspective, and I'll tell you guys why. Obviously, the first thing you can point to is the loss of 2 coordinators, right? I think defensively, we're not going to feel that loss because Blake Harrell is a defensive guy. And by all accounts, he was heavily involved in the calling of the defense this year. So I think we're going to be fine defensively. Offensively, you worry a little bit about the play calling and who's going to step up there. But more than anything, until we can get an OC in place and until Hauser has decided 100% he's staying or he's going to hit the portal, we need to get that monkey off our back as a team because right now there's too much focus in every area except for this Pitt game. And, it's easy to say, well, we'll get through it. We'll be prepared. But this stuff does weigh on a team. And I think once Hauser declares either way, we can kind of move forward.
Yeah, I think that's why we need to get the OC hire done. I think that'll speed Hauser declaring, along if he's involved with the decision. Matt, you speculated. Never mind. Never mind.
Hey, Matt, guys. What do y'all think? Stevie and Johnny.
About the OC?
Yeah, well, for me, I was going to ask you guys the question I have. So I'll start with Johnny and then Stevie. If we hire a coordinator, obviously we're going to hire a coordinator, I would think, before the bowl. Do you let them coach in the game or no?
I don't. That would be tough. I'm sure he would be at the game, but yeah, that'd be a tough assignment.
That little bit of time.
Yeah, I think that you could take his, suggestions or what he has to say, but no, I don't think he's going to be calling any plays. That would be kind of crazy. I would think.
I agree. I don't think you let him take over the offense in a little bit of time.
No, not unless the only way you do that would be if we were going to promote somebody from within, which doesn't appear to be an option, or maybe if you were going to hire somebody off Ole Miss's staff and they ran the exact same, they used the same terminology. Otherwise, you definitely don't do that.
Yeah. So for me, I feel like. Do you guys think? Oh, let me ask you this: do you guys think Jordan Davis will be the one? I know you said, Kyle, that they haven't made an announcement, but he put up good numbers at North Texas, right?
I don't think so. I don't think so. JR, I'll shut up and let you talk after I say this.
No. I wasn't. No, I was just going to say I don't believe he called one play at North Texas.
Correct. He was the offensive coordinator. Morris calls his own plays.
Oh, that's right.
I hate to interrupt, but I've never understood that. If you're going to call your own plays, why you have an offensive coordinator?
Well,
you have just like a assistant, not call him offensive coordinator, but call him like an assistant head coach or something.
I'll give you an example of sometimes where that works just fine. Lincoln Riley. Another example where the tight ends coach, passing game coordinator, whatever the hell he was, John David Baker. Neither one of them called plays. But here's the thing. It sounds like to me Morris called the plays. It sounds like to me Jordan Davis was primary receivers coach. He was offensive coordinator. And then they had a quarterbacks coach who was called passing game coordinator. So I don't know. He may be perfectly ready to run his own offense. Jordan Davis, prior to coming to North Texas, he was receivers coach and assistant head coach. I can't ever say that first word right, guys. Incarnate word. That's the title he did have there. Stevie was assistant head coach.
And James.
Then he left there and went to Washington State, where he was offensive analyst, and then came back and rejoined Coach Morris at North Texas and had the title of OC. So he's had the same position twice under Coach Morris in different titles. Once assistant head coach, once OC, and he's coached receivers. I don't know. It may be a great hire. I don't know. It's It does, just based on the fact that it doesn't sound like, and who knows, early intel. It doesn't sound like it went bad, but it doesn't sound like that's the hire either. I think there's going to be other interviews.
Well, Matt, would you not think that that if you're Blake Harrell and you have a situation that you're going to interview 5 or 6 guys, a handful of guys, to make sure that you definitely get the right guy instead of jumping on one of the first guys? I don't read too much into that.
Yeah, I mean, you guys know my feelings on this one. I feel like we should have had 4 or 5 guys ready to go because, anticipating the fact that, JDB was going to be heading out. I think we all knew he was a 2-year rental. And, we were really confident that he was not going to ever see year 3 at ECU. So I think in that situation, you got to have, at least 3 or 4 guys ready to go. And, that does concern me a little bit. Like Bubba reminded me, it's only been 5 days, but you have to do your due diligence. You don't want to rush the hire. Here's really the biggest issue. You don't want to rush the hire because you need to get this right. And, it's just too important of a hire to rush it. But at the same time, your team's you're in a little bit of a, limbo right now because you have the portal period rapidly approaching and you got to make sure your players stay. So every day that this gets pushed out, it does get a little more concerning to me. We got to get this thing wrapped up. I really believe in the next 2 days.
I agree, Matt. Plus, the pool is shrinking. Now, I don't think anybody was hired today, but like every week, there's 2 or 3 more OCs that are being hired somewhere.
Hey, Kyle, I've got some breaking news for you.
Yeah, I just saw that. First, before you get to that, you already got to it.
Oh, sorry.
You're good. Yeah, well, somebody sent him the link from the other night and tell him I said his mama. Tell him what I said about his mama if he don't come on the Sports Objective. Put James's comment, Ron James, as coach.
Maybe I should go on his YouTube.
Aldridge was his first big hire.
Yeah, well, I would say, Aldridge was his first big hire. Also, our second, he hired 2 strength coaches. The first one didn't go well, got fired a month and a half later. And then the second one he hired, and that's gone really well. Our guys were really well conditioned this year. I'll disagree with James on that. He has already made 2 big hires, but I do think this is the most important hire he's made. It is the most important.
Yeah, because you don't want to have that's my biggest concern is I hope that he's not going to go away from the kind of offense we've been running. That's my biggest.
Well, you're looking at the people he's interviewing. The North Texas OC is an up-tempo offense, more passing based. You hear the other names that you hear coming up. I don't think there's much chance of that. We're gonna run something up-tempo and wide open.
Yeah, I'm reading some of the comments on Mr. Kitchen's YouTube right now, and I don't know who ECU Pride is, but he's the
guy. ECU Pride is the guy that talked about don't you rent the stadium with us Steelers, Stevie.
Yeah, he's causing quite a ruckus in the chat room right now up here. So yeah.
We did for the people listening, we did invite
opportunity, right, Matt?
We did. We gave him an opportunity. We invited him on the show, never got a response. So it would have been great to have him on, and this guy's talking about he came to see an ECU football game when Coastal played here. I mean, this guy has no clue what he's talking about. I don't think he's ever even seen the ECU football stadium. So
no, he has.
Completely clueless. But I hope he gets torched tonight by our fan base. And
yeah, somebody could go in there and
basically block him
out. That'd be good.
Somebody needs to give him the link from Wednesday night and give him the timestamp of what I said. Because if you don't respond to that, I literally said, I don't want to repeat it again. One time was enough. But if he doesn't come on the show, I mean, that's all. If he comes on the show, I'll take back everything I said about his mama. Otherwise, it lays there.
You can't take the heat stand of the kitchen. So.
Oh, that was great.
Pay said he's going to troll him like 50 Cent.
Why don't you troll him like P. Diddy?
Oh, man.
Oh God.
Oh, my God.
I got the baby oil pays.
By the way, I was going to tell you guys, thanks for the big crowd already. Miss Simmons, and we got a huge crowd already, so we appreciate that.
Hey, put up Bubba's comment right there, Dave.
Oh, man.
I heard that. I don't know what the hell that means, but I heard that.
I don't know, Bubba. I don't know, man.
I think he means that you were the one that throws shade in Pirate Nation. That's what I think.
But Matt comes with facts. This guy doesn't have any idea what he's talking about. So no, Matt is not the JJ Kitchen of Pirate Nation.
Is JJ Kitchen the Matt Semenza of Panther Nation? What are they?
He's trying to be.
God, I hope not.
Okay,
people don't even like him. I love it.
I'm backing up ECU Pride right now. I'm in the chat group with him right now.
Tell him that Kyle from the Sports Objective said your mama a hoe if you don't come on the Sports Objective.
Oh my!
I'm getting ready to tell.
That's what I said it the other night. I'm just saying.
And so, what do you guys think about Garrett Riley? I mean, I would love that hire personally. I know a lot of Clemson fans are, they want him out the door. I wasn't really sure exactly what the reason was. I was reading some things today and watching some videos on YouTube about Clemson. A lot of people feel like he abandons the run too quickly, and doesn't call a great game in the red zone. That seemed like to be the biggest issue that I was able to uncover. But what would you guys think of Garrett Riley?
I mean, it sounds good. I mean, he's got a lot of experience. He the name. He did a great job at TCU. He's done a decent job at Clemson. Um, abandoning the run is not something that Coach Blake Harrell's going to put up with very long. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know how realistic it is. I don't know what other offers he's getting. Who else is looking at Garrett? Word is him and Clemson want to part ways. There's a buyout at Clemson. So he's trying to get another job to get that buyout paid rather than they don't want to fire him, but they want him to go elsewhere. He didn't get the Coastal Carolina head coaching job. They went with the Missouri State head coach. It was a good hire by Coastal. I don't know what other jobs are out there. I wonder if Carolina will be interested in interviewing him with their OC opening. I mean, that'd be something completely different than what they normally run under or what Belichick has run throughout his career. But I'd be good with Garrett, Matt. I just don't know that it's going to happen. I want the right fit. It doesn't have to be the sexy name. It could be the OC from Monmouth. It could be the OC from Mercer. It could be, I think James just suggested a minute ago the OC from Valdosta State. You can make a hire like that if it works. If it's the right hire, it's the right hire. It doesn't have to be the sexy name. It doesn't have to be Garrett Riley, but whether it's Garrett Riley, Jordan Davis, somebody else, I mean, we just need to get the right hire in here.
I don't remember this much trash talk before a bowl game in a long time. Love it.
Last year there was a lot before with NC State, but I don't know how much trash talk is occurring between the Pitt coaching staff and fans, and players, and the East Carolina coaching staff and players. I don't know if that's occurring. It all seems to be between the fans. I want the Pitt players to start disrespecting our players and calling us Eastern Carolina and saying this will be a breeze and all that kind of stuff.
How about if the Pitt players start talking about? How about if the Pitt players start talking about the East Carolina players' moms or something, or call them hoes or something?
Like I did Kitchen's mom?
Yeah. I'm just wondering.
Oh, I never called his mom a hoe. I said his mom's a hoe unless he comes on the Sports Objective. I never said she was one. I said if he didn't come on the Sports Objective. I said if you don't come on the Sports Objective, your mama a hoe. So he's got that caveat. He can make sure his mother's not. Hey, that'd be great. I wish the Pitt players would say that about East Carolina players' moms. That'd be tremendous. It's good motivation.
Matt, did you ever have? I want to ask you, and maybe Stevie. I'll go with Matt first.
Let me ask you, Matt. I'm gonna ask Matt this, Dave. I don't mean to cut you off. No. Matt, if somebody calls your mother a hoe, are you gonna go defend her?
Oh, absolutely. Those are fighting words.
There you go.
So, Matt, did you ever have a situation where really bad? I know trash talking takes place on the field and off the field, but what was the worst trash talking you ever had in a game or a bowl game? The Stanford game?
There were one of the pre-game events at the Liberty Bowl against Stanford. I tell you, that Stanford team was arrogant. They were an arrogant group, and they thought they were just going to come in there and beat up on little old ECU. And we had a lot of words with them. I think it was at the bowling. There was like a bowling night, and teams were going back and forth, and it wasn't just joking around. I mean, it was getting pretty heated. That was like the one time really like off the field stuff. During the game, anything is, it's all fair game, once you kick off. But
Alan Vick said every time the word hoe is used on this podcast, an angel gets its wings. Thank you. It's a life.
Oh. Christmas, Santa.
Yeah. It's a wonderful. That's one of my. I watch that on Christmas Eve every year.
I watched it the other night on E.
Love that movie. It's crazy how that movie was not a big success at the box office. And by the way, shame, but we will have a Christmas show coming up, right, Matt? It's one of our favorite shows, so we'll have that coming up right before.
Yeah, we'll do it probably next Sunday. I think probably the 23rd. Promise people to show on the 23rd. The day before Christmas Eve might be asking a little much. So I think next Sunday night we should plan for a bowl special / Christmas special.
Sponsored by Balsam Hill.
There you go. And Dave will be the ghost of Christmas past.
There I am. I'm back.
There you go. He's back.
And they call me Scrooge. So I want to ask also about You guys, as far as the coaching position coaches, what are you hearing about that? Is it just rumors, or are you hearing that more coaches are leaving, staying? What do you guys know about that?
The only name I've heard come up for sure with the potential of leaving tied to a job directly is Matt Maddox to Kansas for the O-line coach. Besides that, I haven't heard any other names come up. You feel pretty good about the defensive staff staying together. Those are Blake's guys, beyond obviously the loss of Aldridge. But on the offensive side of the ball, bringing in an OC from the outside, I would expect wholesale turnover on that side of the ball. You'd love to keep Matt Maddox, no matter who the OC is, because he's a tremendous O-line coach, develops talent really well, and great recruiter. But I would expect wholesale change on that side of the ball. Wouldn't you guys?
I'm just wondering if he keeps someone for recruiting purposes. That's what I worry about. But as far as keeping the guy,
that would be Matt. But if he's going to Kansas, none of the other position coaches on offense are really excellent recruiters like Maddox is. Maybe Darrell Roberts, maybe.
Matt, what are your thoughts on that?
Man, I'll tell you, they've done a good job keeping this thing quiet. I mean, they really have. You just haven't really heard any names at all. I mean, it's just been really quiet. So, defensively, I think they're just kind of waiting on that. They want to get the offensive side of the ball handled first. But I'm assuming Blake's got a bunch of guys in the pipeline. I know he's got some roots to Kennesaw and some other schools in the Southeast. So I'm sure he's got something in mind.
You talking about for defensive coordinator?
Just generally speaking about, if there's any staff changes across the board.
Yeah, Chuck Saleh is asking about any DC candidates. I have not.
There's a list on HTC, a defensive coordinator hot board. It is. I haven't paid a lot of attention to it yet. It has been stated that the priority is to get the OC in place. So,
and rightfully so. So look. Hey Matt and Kyle. Here's you guys are going to have a arm wrestling match on this one. Look at this. So for the season opener next season, does ECU Pride, or will it be Matt or Kyle from the LaGrange Barber that calls into Paul Feinbaum because we're playing Alabama?
I hate Feinbaum, pencil neck Paul Feinbaum. So I would love to.
I would love to hear Matt Simmons go off on Feinbaum's show. That would be classic.
Yeah, Feinbaum he's the biggest homer in sports. I mean, he is an SEC guy through and through. Look, I'll tell you right now, if we're able to keep Hauser and keep this offense largely intact and have a good portal, off season where we bring in some really good players, I like our chances to go down there and be competitive. I really do. I'm not saying we're going to win the game. I'm saying I like our chances to go be competitive. But if we lose Hauser and we're breaking in a new offense and a new quarterback, it's going to be a tough one.
Hey, guys, a way too early prediction. East Carolina 27, Alabama 24. Is that how do you –
based on what?
22?
Based on what?
Well, I've got one. Hey, Matt, I've got one.
Way too early.
Hey, Matt, I've got one. There's a rumor going around that Kalen DeBoer is very, very unhappy and that Michigan might pull him away. I don't see that happening, but I've heard that a few times, including today. Johnny, did you listen to Sirius XM today? College Sports.
I did not.
I've heard it several different places. I've heard that rumor.
Well, I've heard of him. I've heard of Kenny Dillingham, one of my favorite coaches from Arizona State. I think he would fit well because they need someone that's about ball and doesn't have any, BS with him. He's a disciplinarian. He's a great coach. He's from Arizona State though, so I'm not sure he would leave there. I've heard about him. I've heard of maybe Todd Monken leaving the Ravens possibly as their OC and going to Michigan. And then he would take his cousin Jeff with him. He says, he didn't say that recently. He said if he ever got a head coaching job, he would like to have his cousin as his OC.
Well, he's been a head coach before.
Yeah. Yes, he has. So I found that to be interesting.
Todd was very successful. Yeah, he took over Southern Miss after Ellis Johnson ran it into the ground, and took him to the conference championship game in year 3, and then decided he wanted to go back to the NFL as a coordinator.
Yeah, and then if that happened and Jeff Monken were to leave, that would make Blake number 3 most tenured coach in the American in just a year and a half. But
Are we sure Jeff Monken would go? I mean, I know what Todd says he would do. I don't. First of all, I don't think that's going to happen. But Jeff loves Army, so I don't know.
No doubt. But what about that very thing? I'm just saying, when somebody asks, how would that, the 27-24, do you guys think that that DeBoer would do that to Alabama?
DeBoer would do what?
Leave to go to Michigan? I just don't see that.
You don't think he's feeling heat? He's feeling heat in Alabama.
Yeah,
Believe me.
He has been.
That would be like a fresh start.
They made the playoffs. So
yeah, they lost 3 games though, and they lost to Florida State. Those fans are lunatics, Kyle, just like Tennessee and Josh Heupel.
Alabama losing 3 games is like sacrilegious to Alabama fans.
That's like a losing season.
Yeah, so I don't think they want him to leave. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying that he's feeling the heat and he's probably not comfortable with it and wouldn't mind like getting another start. I could be wrong though, but it wouldn't surprise me.
You need to, hey Matt, you need to call Paul Feinbaum and act like you're a guy that definitely knows that DeBoer is leaving. Just make up something, get him started tomorrow.
He'd be all ears, Matt.
Why are we talking about Paul Feinbaum?
Because I love that show because they talk so much trash, and those listeners calling each other. It's like having Kyle Barber on there, and Kyle, you could call in and like. If that guy starts talking about me one more time, like I'm going to beat it, like they go after each other. I think it's funny.
Well, the thing,
why? I'm sorry. I was just going to say this real quick. The reason I don't listen to him is because when he's wrong, he acts like he never said something. He'll never take ownership of being wrong. And he's wrong a lot. So yeah, I don't listen to him at all.
Yeah. Yeah. And last week he was talking about how, the G5 would be, basically eliminated completely from playoff contention. He, like I said, he's just a homer. In Paul Feinbaum's world, you have the SEC and the Big Ten, and everybody outside of those 2 conferences is just not worthy.
I'd like to grab Paul Feinbaum by his ears. And grab Lord Saban by his turkey neck, and tell them both. I'll do it. Tell them, particularly Feinbaum. My God, tell them both. Why don't you 2 ass clowns go tell them boys at Army, go tell them boys at Navy, go tell them boys at Air Force that they don't deserve a chance to be in the college football playoff. Because when you're saying the schools from the group of 5 don't deserve to be in the college football playoff, don't deserve an opportunity to be in the college football playoff, then what you're saying is these men who are serving at these academies don't deserve an opportunity to be in a college football playoff. Why doesn't anybody ever point that out? Because we sit there and we watch the Army-Navy game and we talk about, this is what college football is all about. It represents the best of this game. But then you literally say a group of 5 team doesn't deserve an opportunity to play in the playoffs. I want you to literally say, Paul Feinbaum, I want you to literally say, Nick Saban, that Army, Navy, and Air Force, them boys, if they go undefeated and win their conference, don't deserve a chance to be in the college football playoff because they don't fit your narrative as a Power 4 school. Why don't you specifically say that about the academies? I dare you.
Yeah, and Navy almost had a shot this year. I mean, they were close.
Yeah, I know. It's just a narrative that nobody ever talks about. I want somebody to frame it that way. People don't know how to argue correctly to win the argument and frame things the right way. Why doesn't anybody ever frame it that way in defense of the group of 5 and then see what people rebuttal with?
Well, I think it's funny. Johnny and I were talking about this like a couple weeks ago, that the very fact that college football gets in their own way because everybody.
Wait a minute. Bubba asked me a question. Who?
Colette Connell.
Is that the one that in the Michigan stuff?
No.
Is that okay? Who the hell's he talking about?
I don't know.
That's why I didn't put up there.
Is that's not the blonde that the coach from Michigan?
No, her name was like Shiver or Shiver.
It's Saving. We love your husband. We bowling, baby. We bowling. Oh, I don't know who that is.
Terry.
I don't know who you're
I don't
talking
know
about.
who Colette Connell is.
I think that's somebody from the Paul Feinbaum show, Paul Feinbaum listener.
Yeah.
But I have no idea who she is.
I guess, but I love it for. I don't care necessarily by him. You could put anybody up there, but the callers make it. That's what makes it fun.
But to answer your question, Jr. Yes, or Stevie, yes, I would have dated that chick from Michigan.
She's a drunk Bama fan at the airport in 2007.
Oh, I do remember that now, Bubba. I do remember that now.
But only Bubba remembered her name.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I remember that now, Bubba. No, I would not date her. No, I would not. Would you? Would you, Bubba?
Well, he's married, so.
So am I.
Kyle.
Moving right along. But yeah, that. But going all the way back to the reason why I was saying
Bubba wasn't married in 2007.
He was not. That's correct. So, guys, as far as I like you, Semenza, I like your optimism. That makes me feel better about the Bama game. I agree with you. I think if the chips fall where we think they're going to fall, then we definitely will be way better than what people think.
Yeah, again, like if you're able to keep that offense largely intact, and
yeah,
you know, to me, everything comes down to Hauser, guys. Right now, in my opinion, and the dominoes are going to start to fall either in a good direction or a bad direction. By all accounts, Hauser is, you know, he's not. It's not like Hauser is going to dictate who we hire as OC, but by all accounts, he's involved. I'm assuming he met with Davis yesterday after his interview. Like, if I had to speculate, I'd say that he probably sat down with him, talked about his philosophy and his vision for ECU, and probably watched some film, you know, some North Texas cut-up film. So by all accounts, you know, he's involved, and you know, we just need to make sure we keep him in the fold.
Yeah,
Matt, what does Carmelo think about the situation with Caton Hauser?
How loud is he right now, by the way? Can you hear him?
Yeah, we can hear him.
There you go. He's bored with the show. Matt, I've been told 1.2 million. Do you think that's will that keep Hauser? Do you think?
You know, it's a tough one, man. I mean, look, 1.2 million would be enough to, you know, that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. But we have to remember, if a Wisconsin, I'm just throwing this name out there. I don't know why I thought of Wisconsin, but if Wisconsin came calling, for every 1.2 million we can throw at him, they can throw in $1 million more. So that's where it gets tricky. I do think we have a really good shot to keep him. But I don't feel like we're out of the woods yet. What do you guys think?
Well, according to Ole Miss fans, they only are going to bring in Hauser if they miss on other quarterbacks they want, or if their guys don't come back, or if they bring him in as a backup. So apparently, we don't have to worry about that, according to the 24/7 board for Ole Miss. I think right now, I would say if you asked me to put a percentage on Hauser staying or leaving, I would say 60-40, 70-30 that he stays. I think we need to get this OC hire done, and I think we need to see Hauser. You know, he's committed to playing in the ball, but we need to see him committed long term. And who knows what he said behind the scenes, but you feel like if that was a decision that was made, we would make that public as soon as possible, because that's only going to help with the OC hire. It's only, and is that something that's being discussed with these OCs? Are they all in a room together? Hey, look, Hauser's going to stay if you come here, that kind of thing.
Hey, Kevin's question, I really like that, because that's interesting. I feel like that's a great question. If it was Holton, there'd be no doubt. I don't know if Caton is capable of doing that, but maybe he is. That's a great question.
Yeah, that is. I'm with you. Holton. He does, and there was some audibles in this offense. I think what you probably do, I think you probably run whatever Caton is most comfortable running, which is kind of what you always do. But you probably simplify this game plan quite a bit without John David Baker being here.
You guys, go ahead. Sorry.
We are just give you an update on our challenge to JJ Kitchen. It's not been answered, but Pirate fans are about to be there are some Pitt fans begging him to file the Pirate fans out of the chat room right now. It's pretty funny in here. All I've got to say is whoever ECU Pride is, my hat's off to you, buddy. You are a warrior for sure.
I would love to see Kyle take him on. That would be great.
ECU Pride or Kitchens?
No, Kitchen, not
ECU Pride.
Sorry, no, not ECU Pride. No, I think it would be podcast gold to get Kyle Barber versus JJ Trash Talk Kitchen.
The challenge has been made in the chat room right now. So.
He doesn't want to match Mike's skills with me. He's not going to come on the podcast. But if he does,
Justin Butts, ECU Pride. Justin Butts, if you're ECU Pride, my hat's off to you, buddy, because you were taking all up on there. This is pretty funny, and it's pure entertainment, guy. I'm just trying to. Not trying to take away from the show, but I'm just
let's have listeners go over to the YouTube and watch that instead, Stevie. That's good there. What are you Tony Schiavone on Monday Nitro?
Don't even watch us. These JJ Kitchens and
JJ Kitchen is getting ready to get his ass beat. You don't even have to watch it; it's already pre-recorded.
We're getting asked to leave the chat room in just a few minutes, I think.
How about this? Kenny saying he would let Roy Tesh call the defense during the bowl game, with Blake overseeing his calls for a trial run.
Well, I mean, I guess it depends on. From what I hear, Roy Tesh is going to kind of be the defensive coordinator, but Blake's going to call the plays. I have a feeling that Roy doesn't want to be a DC, or he would be. Maybe I'm wrong on that. I don't know. It seems like if that was going to be the defensive coordinator, we would already named him defensive coordinator. So I don't think that's happening. Unless your suggestion is what they're going to do, they're going to try the bowl game to see how it goes, which is possible. It's possible.
Yeah, I mean, I love the idea of Roy Tesh being our next DC. I mean, he's a hell of a coach, guys. He
really is.
He consistently. I'm just reading Justin's comment, but he consistently has his guys play at a level that is even, I think, above what we all expect. I'm certainly one of them, but I think a huge portion of our fan base was not expecting much out of our D-line this year with so many people to replace. And not only did he replace them, but he got more out of them than he did last year's group. So hell of a coach, man. I'd be absolutely fine with it. But I agree with you, Kyle. I have wondered if maybe he doesn't want to go that direction. Maybe he's comfortable where he's at. But
that seems to be the case to me, Matt.
I think it's a good point. I mean, it's likely that is the case. Maybe he just sees himself that he's in a good spot where he's at.
I'm a little surprised that who's to say he won't this year. I'm a little surprised to see, and maybe he's turned opportunities down at Power 4 schools, but I'm a little surprised to see him not ever getting an opportunity at a Power 4 school to be a D-line coach there. He's really good at, I don't know that he wouldn't be his talents wouldn't be a little wasted at that level because he's so good at developing defensive linemen. And that's something that you don't do as much at the Power 4 level. You get them out of high school that are 5 stars already ready to go, or you bring them in from the portal. So I think somewhere like ECU is where Roy Tesh really shines. This D-line, most of these guys are ECU guys that were developed here under Roy Tesh and Blake Harrell.
No doubt. So what do you guys he says that Brandon says that Roy is my neighbor. I can always ask.
There you go. Ask him.
Ask him, please. Okay, so guys.
Speaking of Roy Tesh, Josiah, I was going to say good news for the D line. Josiah Robinson his red shirt was granted, so he'll be back for another year.
Oh, that's awesome.
Good for him, man. I'll tell you, that's a guy you have to give credit to. I mean, he's had a tough road. He transferred in from Michigan State after his freshman year, highly recruited player out of high school, dealt with an injury. I think it was a knee injury for at least a few years. Good for him, man. That's good. That's a big piece to bring back. And, I would love to see Xavier MacGyver go that direction as well, because unfortunately for him,
he qualifies too. He definitely qualifies, because I think did he only play 2 games maybe?
I want to say it was 2, maybe 3 at most.
Yeah, well, he's good too. I don't know that I'm sure he'll be approved as well, but and maybe he already has been. I just heard about Josiah, but MacIver and Robinson together, wow, it's a great start. Plus Wilson from North Pitt as a freshman. CJ's nephew, I guess he is.
Oh, okay, yep. And you have Preston Carr back.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Preston Carr back. So I mean, that's some talent right there you're bringing back.
No doubt. We've got with Roy Tesh, the player development, because Kyle and Johnny were there with me, and Roy Tesh is he was talking about, you may not have necessarily the household names, but there's a lot of guys that are playing in a good, in other words, they were good players that just really hadn't got their chance to really shine like they did this year.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. And the coaching staff will tell you that they feel great about last year's class. They feel like there's a ton of talent in that class. So you're going to start to see names. Kieran Davis is one that comes to mind. You're going to start to see some of these young names become very, prominent in the next year for ECU.
No doubt. And, yeah. Bubba says Carr and Roseboro. Yeah, absolutely. Bubba.
Roseboro with a little time running the ball as well, guys. Punt on fake punts. He got the goal line carry at FAU. So when you're 290 pounds and you can run with the football, that's a talent.
No question about that. So for the players, we'll have to wait and see. And what are the dates on it's early January, right? For the portal, off the top of my head. It's right after
January 2nd.
Yeah.
2nd through 16th, I think.
Yeah, 2 weeks.
Yep. So.
Hey, it'll be a good feeling though when whoever makes it through that 2-week period. You don't have to sweat it out and think that, well, now, if they don't like the way things are going in spring, they're going to bail. You don't have to worry about that.
Correct. Yeah, no, that's true. Very good point.
And hopefully we can get things with as far as we talk about the transfer portal, but also I want to bring back the traditional, maybe you guys, I don't know how you guys feel, but as far as signing day, I just wish it was back to the February, maybe old fashioned or whatever. But
you have less flips with the early signing day. I also think that could be something to do with the portal, because guys aren't trying to be flipped as hard as they used to be. I think there's good and bad to early signing day. I just think there's too much stuff going on at this time of year. You have bowl and playoff preparation.
Right.
You have recruiting. That just got wrapped up with signing day. You have the transfer portal that you're getting ready to try to manage, and you're already recruiting your own players, making sure you have to get money together for them. And then you have coaching hiring. It's too much stuff going on all at one time. I don't know how you fix it, but it's got to be fixed. You always have the coaching carousel and bowl season going on simultaneously. That's not new, but you got transfer portal and signing day going on with it. It is just too much going on at one time, and I really think it takes away from the postseason big time, and I think this is something that needs to be addressed.
So, in other words, wait till early January or February to do a lot of this stuff instead of December.
Well, yeah, you could move signing day back to February. You could move. I don't really know. The only other option for the portal from where they have it would be to just do one portal post spring, and I think that has its negatives and its positives.
And we lost Matt, I guess. No doubt. What do you guys, Stevie and Johnny, what do you think?
What are we talking about, Dave?
About the moving things back as far, like the transfer portal, signing day.
Well, I mean, I'm not going to add to whatever Kyle said is pretty much the way I feel as well. It needs to be done. It needs to be done. I just don't know the logistics. I don't know all the variables, but yeah, we need to move it back. It's crazy right now.
I've said that all along. It needs to be moved back. I don't know how you do it, but it needs to be moved back. It's
about to cry. I know we're sending the listeners over to somewhere else. How was he about to cry, Pays? Like he was legitimately. I mean, what were people saying to him to the point where he was about to cry? Jesus Christ!
I'm not listening to it. I'm not even in the chat room anymore. I think they blocked ECU Pride. So.
Well,
guys, I can't lie to you. That's me.
Is it?
That's Samizza.
Did they block you, Matt?
Matt, you're not ECU Pride, are you?
You never know, buddy. You never know.
It's either you or Justin Butts.
Yeah, it's like whenever
Matt is sitting there leaving that on the table. I think ECU Pride might be. Matt, were you doing? Now, there's no way you were doing that at the same time you were doing the show.
That's the problem. I can't multitask. But it could be Justin Butts. Where's Justin? Is Justin still here?
Yeah, he's still in here. I think
he's kind of quiet though.
I'm gonna bet ECU Pride's a young buck, probably younger ECU fan. I'd like to know who it is, though. It's curious to know who ECU Pride is. If anybody out there knows or can find out who ECU Pride is, I haven't seen anything you said. Is that on YouTube? Where you watching this, Stevie? Stevie, reach out to ECU Pride and ask him who he is. Tell him you're with the Sports Objective.
Oh, he knows because I put it in there that we would love for JJ to come on the Sports Objective and talk about the ECU and Pitt bowl game if he would like to. And nobody has said anything.
They're above us, Stevie. Pitt. Those Pitt people, they can't be involved with little old ECU.
Oh, I know. Let me tell y'all guys, if y'all see some of this stuff in here, you think Pitt had won like the last 10 national championships and they're dominant football team because they're just
Stevie.
Like they are so great.
I do think they're a good team.
Stevie, what's the name of his podcast?
Should we give that out right now?
How are you watching this?
Joe Mama.
We'll throw some stats at him about Pitt.
It's called Dynamite with JJ.
Dynamite. Just look up Talking College Football with JJ Kitchen.
Okay, no S, just Kitchen. Okay.
Yeah, Kitchen. Someone's in the kitchen with JJ. That was in the kitchen with JJ.
Making oatmeal.
It could be Justin. It could be Pays. I mean, Pays is
in there. Pays is in there under his own name.
Pays, is that you, man?
No, he's in there under his own name. The stadium talks come up, and we're telling them, the only reason y'all got a stadium is because y'all, the Steelers let y'all use it, and it's been a lot of talk about when was the last time you guys played on campus. And
like 1983, I want to say, right? They lost that old stadium. I mean,
it's been a minute.
Here's the thing. I just don't. To me, that's a stain on a football program when you don't have your own stadium.
Hold on, Matt. Let me interrupt you real quick. There is a Sarah Sanders that just put in this chat room. Kyle, you'll love this. Don't get your ass beat by Kyle Barber from LaGrange.
I don't know who Sarah Sanders
is. Yeah. Remember, Sarah Sanders used to be on our show all the time. Remember?
I do vaguely. Where the hell? Why isn't she up here anymore?
From Wilson.
Well, she's in there. She just said it.
There you go, Sarah. Tell Sarah I appreciate that. Say, yeah, JJ, come on the show, baby.
Wow.
Jeez.
Yeah.
So Bubba says early 90s.
Early 90s. Oh, last time they played on campus?
Was it early 90s? Wow, I thought it was
Late
before then.
Late 90s.
Interesting. Page just told him he saw him on a Diddy documentary. So that's that's well done right there. He is getting diddied. He's definitely getting diddied right now.
Who just squeeze him for blowing JJ's comment section?
Who did?
Mike Vick played at Pitt Stadium in 1999. The Penn State and West Virginia fans will be loving this. Well, tell them about it. Go for it. Yeah. Justin Batts with a Pirate Tractor 18-wheeler repair update.
Justin Butts.
Yeah. We played there in 92, which was the last game of the series.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, we hadn't played them since 90. Yeah, during your time, Matt.
Gotcha. Yeah, a little even 2 years before me. I didn't even realize that. But, here's the thing, guys. Pitt is a damn good football team.
They are. They really are.
They're very good. Again, we talked about this last week, but you look at some of their notable wins this year. They beat up on Georgia Tech. I think they hung 45 on them. Georgia Tech's a solid football team, well coached. That's a good win right there. I think they put 55 on NC State. Now, I don't think NC State is some great football team, but they did beat ECU. These are things you look for, and then you look at what they did against some of the top opponents. Miami thumped them. Notre Dame thumped them.
The bad loss there, though, Matt, is losing to West Virginia.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a rivalry game.
Still, West Virginia's horrible. They whipped Pitt.
Yeah, it's just a rivalry game. To me, you could look at Charlotte whipping us last year. To me, rivalry games are what they are sometimes. I'll say bowl games are similar. So I'll say this. I think if Pitt comes ready to go and we're not 100% locked in, they'll beat us, and they'll beat us handedly. If Pitt is not locked in, if they're not caring about the bowl game, and despite these distractions we have, we are locked in for the opportunity to beat Pitt, then I think I like our chances. So to me, with bowl games, lots of times who wants to be there more and who wants to be playing that game more.
Yeah. Kyle got another mention in the group again. Matt Redmond said, "You don't want the smoke with Kyle."
Yeah, he does. They do. You remind him. Hey, tell him that I said his mama ho if he don't come on the Sports Objective podcast.
If JJ ever looks at this chat group, he's going to be scared.
Yeah, I think, guys, in this bowl game, I think we need to establish the run. I really do. I think if we can get the running game going, and then mix in the deep shots off of that, I think we'll be in good shape. But if they stifle our ground game, I think it could be a long day. They have a lot of size in the trenches, especially on that O-line. So it's a solid football team. I mean, I think you make a good point, though. I mean, whoever is most prepared, whoever wants to be there, is going to have a chance to win this game. But I just hope we can put all this stuff to bed very soon with the OC search and then Hauser.
Hey, while you all are being entertained by JJ, can I throw out some stats for this game that I feel like? Okay, first of all, this Mason Heinchel, the freshman quarterback, the situation was in 2023, the Eli Holstein was a redshirt. Well, he was a true freshman at Alabama. He redshirted because he never played, and then he got $500,000 in NIL to go to Pitt and be their starting quarterback. They started out 7-0, and they finished 7-6, unfortunately. But they upped his NIL to just over $1 million, and then after 4 games, they benched him. And now, this Heinchel is the quarterback now. And I've just never seen that really where you're paying a quarterback over $1 million in NIL or rev share, whatever you want to call it, however you want to word it. And then you bench him 4 games into the season and start a true freshman. This is just a really odd situation, in my opinion. But, as far as stats go, East Carolina, I know they haven't played exactly equal schedules, But offensively and defensively, East Carolina just has better numbers all the way around. Pick a stat. Passing offense, that's close. We're 16, they're 20. But they've thrown 14 interceptions, which is 12th worst in NCAA. So they're going to be throwing some balls up for grabs. Hopefully we can, cash in on that. The passing defense, we're both struggling there. Pirates are 89th. They're 104th. We've only allowed 15 touchdowns, though. They've allowed 26. So, I feel like is even though our passing defense hasn't been stellar, it's better than what how they've been performing. So I like us in the passing game. And in the running game, they just don't run it. They run it 34% of the time and pass 66. We're 50-50 running and passing. So they're having a really hard time running the football. They're averaging 30. They have 31. Okay, so they're averaging 117 yards a game rushing, and we're averaging 184. We've scored 31 rushing touchdowns. They've only scored 18. I think we have the advantage in the running game and the running defense. So if they can't run the ball, and this freshman, passing wise, rating wise, I should say, he's nowhere close to Caton. Like he's in the 80s or 90s. Caton's in the low teens. I just feel like, that's the key. Like you said, Matt, the running game. If we can stop their running game, and they haven't really been able to do that very well at all this season, they're going to be in trouble, in my opinion.
I think we can stop their run. The thing I have, if you look at the way they're going to sling the ball around, it'll be similar to Florida Atlantic or Coastal. And you say, "Oh, good, Kyle. We shut those teams down." We're not going to be able to get to their quarterback and just dominate up front on Pitt the way we did FAU and Coastal. So that would be my one concern. They do, hit a lot of big plays in the passing game. So that's the concern for me. And
okay, let me throw this out and then you continue, because this is relevant, and it won't be relevant in like another 2 minutes or so. The Pirates are number 4 in the nation in tackles for loss, which includes sacks. They're getting 7.83 per game, and their offense is number 106, allowing 608. They've allowed 73 tackles for loss. So that's a huge break for us on both sides of the ball as far as tackles for loss. They give up a lot, we get a lot. So I feel like that's going to be that's not working in his favor.
That's interesting. Maybe we will be able to get pressure on them up front. I don't know. That is interesting. Will they be able to shut our? This game may end up being a game that people think is high scoring that ends up being relatively low scoring. This could be a game where both of our defenses can kind of dictate what the offense does and have our way on both sides. Both defenses kind of have their way. This game could be a lot lower scoring than people probably think, based on what you're telling me, JR. So,
yeah, Kyle, you're going to give your prediction now. Just go ahead and get it out there
for the bowl game.
Too soon.
It's kind of early for that.
I know I'm being sarcastic. I was messing with him.
Hey, Dave, how about this, Dave? You love stats. I'm going to beat you to this one, though. The Pirates, there's only 3 teams in the nation that are in the top 11 on third down efficiency, converting third downs on offense and stopping third downs on defense. And it's us, Indiana, and Iowa. No, not Indiana, us. I can't read my own writing. But Miami. So we're as far as third down goes, we're converting. We've converted 92 times. Only 2 other teams in the nation have converted more third downs than we have. And they've only converted 54 times, which is only 33.3%. We've converted on 50%. So when it comes to third downs, we have the advantage there too. We have the advantage in the red zone. We're scoring, they're not. So we're stopping people from scoring too. So
yeah, I played a much tougher schedule. What I was about to say, Matt or JR, is what you just alluded to. I think if we win this game, it comes down to red zone. I think that you can give up big plays in the passing game as long as you don't give up the touchdown in the passing game. So if they beat us over the top, get it down in the red zone, they can't run the ball very well. This could be a game where we hold them to a lot of threes. I think of the Tulane game, but maybe with the right result in terms of the final score. But I could see it being very much like the Tulane game in terms of them getting the ball down there, hitting some big passing plays, but then a stiffening in the red zone.
Yeah, we've only allowed a touchdown in the red zone on 40.5% of possessions. They've allowed a touchdown in the red zone on 69.5% of red zone possessions. So they're hemorrhaging touchdowns, and we're giving up less than half possessions or getting touchdowns, which is one of the best in the nation. So
do you have their strength of schedule versus ours?
Yeah, here you go.
Okay, so JR's getting
talk amongst yourselves.
Yeah, Bubba kind of mentioned something along these lines earlier in the comments, but yeah, I do think their talent level is somewhere in between, Memphis and BYU. I don't think they're at the level of a BYU, but I think they're at the very least comparable with Memphis and probably a little more talent. So I think it's going to be an interesting matchup. I think the key stat, JR, you just mentioned to me, the one that is the fact that we're really good at creating negative plays, and they struggle on third down. So if you can get them behind the sticks, get them in third and medium, third and long, you're going to have a shot.
Strength of schedule, pitch 50th. We're 82nd.
Not as bad as I thought.
No, it ain't as bad as I thought either.
I thought they were going to be top 30 strength of schedule, and so that's interesting. I think this may come down to red zone. I think they'll put up some yards on us. I think they'll hit some big passing plays on us. But the key is just don't give up the big passing play. If they, hit a 40-yard pass and get it down inside the 20, we just got to do our thing in the red zone like we normally do.
Bend but don't break.
Exactly.
What was the strength of schedule? I missed that.
50 and 87.
82nd.
82nd is us. They're 50. We're 82.
Okay.
I mean, just like Ron James is saying here, they played against Miami, Louisville, and Notre Dame.
Yeah, no, I mean, which are great football teams, and they lost to Miami and Notre Dame. Did they lose to Louisville?
Yeah.
So yeah, they lost all those teams. What is their best win? So we know they've lost. What is their best
Georgia Tech win?
Georgia Tech win. That's a good win.
Yeah, that is a good win.
Did they play Clemson this year too?
I don't think they played Clemson. I may be wrong, man. I'm going to look it up. Unless JR's got it right there.
No, I'm looking at just their lineup against our lineup, offense against defense, just to see where some advantages are.
And with Ron James there in the chat room, Southern Miss announced that they are promoting Blake Anderson, their offensive coordinator, former head coach at Utah State and Arkansas State, to head coach after the loss of Charles Huff to Memphis. So, like the move, like Blake Anderson as a coach. I think Blake deserves it. If they would have just hired Blake Anderson 12, 13 years ago, 14 years ago, however long that's been at this point, when Fedora went to North Carolina, I think Southern Miss could have saved themselves a lot of headaches for over a decade.
No doubt. By the way, guys, something that I wanted to mention to you guys is about scheduling. And I thought about that today about Southern Miss, home and home. How about, the likes of Marshall, home and home? There's so many. We talk about scheduling not being easy, but there's 136 FBS teams.
Yep.
And so for me personally, I'm just like, why can't we? I was thinking about the rivalries we used to have, like with the Pitts of the world, the Syracuse. I know that they are probably not going to play us, but there are plenty of teams that will play us, and I'm just hoping. I say that a lot on purpose on our show, so that the administration, I hope that they will understand that.
Well, we still are waiting to see what our home game is going to be to replace Wake Forest in 27.
Yeah.
But who will it be? I do think Gilbert needs to get more creative with scheduling. Playing. I go back to App State. How we don't have a long-term series in extension in hand with App State boggles my mind. I don't understand that. You have the Pac-12 schools out there now. with a 7-game conference schedule when everybody else is going to 5, which means they need 5 non-conference games. Why aren't we talking to any of those schools? Maybe we are, but I haven't heard anything about it. He doesn't want to play teams farther off. And yes, Southern Mississippi, while geographically it doesn't make a lot of sense, there's a lot of history there. Maybe you don't want to do a long-term home and home, but let's sign a 4-game series. Let's do a home, 2 home and homes, or just do a 2-game series, one there and one here. I'd love to play Southern Miss again, and I would imagine their fans would feel the same. You're getting to the point now where we've had a whole generation that has missed the East Carolina Southern Miss rivalry, that knows nothing about it.
Oh yeah,
yeah. Bubba
they
says
did not play Clemson, Matt.
All right.
Yeah, why don't we schedule Oregon State and Washington State? Yeah, I'm with you, Bubba. Colorado State, for that matter. Boise is something we had on the schedule and dropped. The home and home with Southern Miss would be good. Yeah,
That's the
there you go.
one.
Marshall's another team. Why is that not a long-term home and home along with App? JMU is a team that is making the college football playoffs. Why don't we have a home and home with them? The only home and homes that Gilbert has signed is home and homes now is Liberty, Coastal Carolina, and Old Dominion. I think that's it. I mean, it's borderline on the word pathetic. And like I say, Gilbert does some things well. He does some things really well. I think he's very physically responsible. I think I think the hire of Blake Harrell was a great move, but he's done nothing. He's done nothing to excite me scheduling wise.
I mean, Washington State just played at JMU 4 weeks ago.
Oregon State played at Boise. I mean, excuse me, at App.
Right.
That's what
the one that really drives me nuts is how we canceled that game against
Boise. Yeah.
I mean, why in the world would we let them out of that game? It makes no sense whatsoever.
Yeah,
no, it doesn't, and it never will.
Yeah, and I want to be clear that yes, there's not an easy thing for scheduling, but it needs to be effort. There's 136 FBS schools. I understand you can say about the Power 4, but I believe there's teams. I bet you there's teams right now in the Power 4 that will play us.
I think part of the problem with Gilbert is he doesn't seem to be very, very aggressive, and maybe I'm completely wrong. I don't know how the man is behind the scenes, but I think he's more the type that waits for people to reach out to him. I don't know that he's out there making phone calls, making deals. I could be wrong. He could be extremely aggressive, but we'll see. Southern Miss needs to find someone to replace. Yeah, because you're joining the conference. What years are those games scheduled, James? What was that non-conference schedule? Give me the years, because you're right. La Tech is joining the Sun Belt, so if you had a long-term non-conference schedule with them, you would need a home and home to replace it. So,
by the way, Boise going to Boone. When everybody says, okay, things are difficult. Well, how is it that Doug Ellen, the AD at Appalachian State, can get all these schools to come there, can get all these series, but we can't? And that's my only criticism. If people,
I think Boise at the time we were the drizzling shits is the reason they didn't want to play us, but that weren't going to last, and it didn't. And I think Gilbert should have said, "Hey guys, hold out. We're about to get our football program straight."
Yeah, with Kenneth said.
Yeah, UConn. Yeah, we have history there.
Yeah, there's a lot. Like I said, there's a lot of schools that we can get. Nobody's saying that we have to have a long-term contract with a team. Okay, we're not saying that, but let's be aggressive with the state legislature. That might be something that the two political parties could agree on, is getting East Carolina to play against NC State and having that. They've been trying that for a couple of years now.
I want to know why somebody, again, I go back to nobody's talking about this, David. I didn't mean to cut you off. NC State is obviously something we want. And that, there's another game left in that series with them coming to Greenville. But in terms of long-term, why is there not a long-term contract with App State?
Yeah.
The series that's in place now was done by Houston. And I believe next year's the last game in the series. So I believe it was 2 in Greenville, 1 in Charlotte, 1 in Boone. Why has that not been extended? That literally makes no sense at all. Doug Gillen and App State wants to play it just as bad as we do. It's a great game. The fans get excited for it. That should be a long-term contract.
I agree, Kyle. Fans do get jacked up for App State, and they travel too. It's a great series.
Yeah, after Alabama beats us in game 1 next year, we get ready for App, and that'll be a a good game to get everybody refocused when we got App coming to Greenville. That'll be a game people are excited for. And we owe App.
Now, what are we going to
need to beat App next year.
What are you going to do if we beat Bama?
What do you mean? What am I going to do?
You just automatically throw it out there. Alabama's definitely going to beat us. So.
I'd be willing. You want to bet right now, Dave? I'll go ahead and put a cool $1,000 on it if you want to that Alabama's going to beat us.
No, I'm just saying.
Yeah, I remember the same conversation. What are you going to do if we beat Michigan? Well, we never had to find that out. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll be extremely happy if we beat Alabama. I'll be extremely happy. I'll probably have a couple of Budweisers and celebrate. But let's be real. It probably ain't going to happen.
Rutgers needs a 27 game.
Well, I'm sure we'd be willing to give them a bye game, Paves.
Well, no, we already have a bye game with Northwestern, another team.
Yeah, I know. We're looking for a home game for 27. I can't wait to see that home and home announced with Delaware.
Oh, wow. Not that there's anything wrong with Delaware.
I mean, but yeah, some logical ones. I think it was Kenneth mentioned.
Here you go. Here you go. If ECU beats Bama, Kyle has to video him going tarps off.
Kevin, if you want to see my boobs, I'll just go ahead and send you a video.
Kyle does have OnlyFans.
Yeah.
He'll do it. It's funny. It was funny. Listen, I'm speechless. I can't even get the words out.
You're just imagining that right now, watching that.
Matt's thinking of that video I sent him and Stevie and JR that one night when I had I don't remember what I was doing. I think I'd had a couple of drinks and it was after the Memphis. It was a couple days after the Memphis win, and it was great.
But UConn is one that you can definitely get at any time, or should be able to. There, I mean, that should always be wide open.
Yeah,
and I'm sure we if we can't get a home and home with UConn, there's something seriously wrong. But
I do think there's some. I don't think Gilbert's very good at scheduling. I don't. I mean, and people look. It's okay to be critical. Look, prove me wrong. I sit here. People get so hung up on the negative things we say that they don't pay attention. I literally complimented Gilbert's physical responsibility. He's very good with money. I complimented his hire of Blake Harrell, but all people are going to hear is the negative. But you tell me anything he's done in scheduling that's been impressive. Not a damn thing.
No.
Hey, Matt.
I love the. Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead. No, go ahead.
I was say really quick. I love the BYU series too. That's one, and I have no problem going back there. Even if we did like a 2-for-1. That's a great. That's a great series. It was a shame we got them on a Thursday night this year because it affected the crowd.
We did. We had them on a Saturday night, and it was almost sold out.
Did we have them on a Saturday night?
Yes, and it was almost sold out. You're thinking of Army the following week.
Okay, all right.
Their fans were awesome too. They brought a lot of them. Some of them were probably local, but a lot of BYU fans showed up, and they were just great fans.
Most were local. The highest population of Mormons per percentage.
Kinston.
Kinston? No, the highest population of Mormons in the United States by percentage on the East Coast.
Oh, Virginia.
Virginia, correct. By overall population, just sheer numbers is New York, as you would think, of any religious, basically, because of the amount of people. But by percentage, the highest population of Mormons on the East Coast is Virginia. A lot of folks, literally, I talked to a young lady that was a BYU fan who drove down from the Richmond area.
Yeah. Matt, what I was going to say is we spoke about UConn, Jim Mora Jr., bringing him back, to relevance, and now he's off to Colorado State. And I'm telling you, when I was doing stats, one thing kept popping up over and over and over again in the top 10, and that was Toledo. So I think Jason Candle, we knew he was a good coach, but I had no idea that that team was so sound offensively and defensively, and even special teams. So I think Connecticut's going to continue, their upward trend, and hopefully he'll stick with them a while. So a series with them could even help you, in strength of schedule, because I have a feeling they're not going anywhere anytime soon.
Would you guys welcome UConn back as a football-only member in the American? My only fear with that would be would Memphis at that point go, well, maybe we should join the Big East too?
It's a tough one. I'd be willing to do it only because, having grown up in the Northeast, I know how important Big East basketball is to UConn fans. So maybe I'm a little biased here. UConn belongs in the Big East for basketball. It just makes sense. But I'd be willing to. I would consider it. I would consider it.
Would you be worried at that point that Memphis may reach out to the Big East or maybe even the A10 and say, hey, we're just going to take our basketball over there since you guys are letting UConn be football only in the American?
It's a good question. It's a great question. I mean, I guess that is what you have to worry about in that situation. I don't know.
But don't we have teams that compete in other conferences for other sports? Like, I'm thinking soccer's in the SEC.
Yes, but lots of times that's because the American doesn't field the sport, like men's soccer. If the American doesn't field this, just like there are some SEC schools in the American in certain sports, that's because the league doesn't field the sport. So, but with the big sports, the NCAA has a rule in place for football. If the only way you can play FBS football in a conference, football only, is if your other sports are in a conference that doesn't offer football. So Memphis, for example, could at that point go, all right, you're letting UConn do it. If the Big East would take them, put all the rest of their sports in the Big East and just play football in the American. Or maybe they go, all right, the A10's got better basketball. Big East don't want us. Now they're allowing UConn to do that with football. We're going to put them in the A10 for all those sports. But that would be my only fear about allowing them in football only. You have Army Navy as football only members, but that's because we don't want the rest of their sports.
Yeah, they wouldn't be competitive either.
Exactly.
Yeah. And JR, to your point about UConn staying in a good spot after more, I think you're right. I mean, the Northeast is wide open right now for football. Syracuse is way down, horrible this year. Boston College was bad this year. Rutgers is very average. UMass is the worst team in the country, maybe in Division I. They definitely have an opportunity to grow that program.
At some point, doesn't UConn have to join a conference with the ACC and the SEC and the Big Ten all going to 9 conference games? I got a feeling that the Big 12 will be following suit, and I got a feeling the American will be following suit soon after that. I think it's going to get to a point where Connecticut is going to have to join a conference. Whether, I'm sure their preference would be in terms of Group of 5 or Group of 6 would be the American football only. But if we won't have them, they may get to the point where they have to join the MAC or the or Conference USA football only. I don't think the Pac-12 would want one school that far east. So it'll be interesting to see. If that is, will the Pac-12, will they make another move to try to expand that league towards the east? And
would you go there? Would you jump to the Pac-12?
It depends. It depends on who else was. I think the idea of taking those 8 teams and the 8 best from the American and forming a 16-team Super League would probably be fantastic, and you could push for power conference status at that point. But that would be the only way I would do it. I think it was a mistake for the Pac-12 to begin with to try the approach they did, offering 4 American teams. I think had they offered 8, or 9, whatever, to try to get to 16 and have 2 true divisions, or a true East side and a true West side.
Right.
I think it might would have happened. But their TV deal is interesting. They got a very interesting media rights deal. Their media rights deal is they got like 5 games on CBS. Then they got a ton of games. Huh?
Aren't they on the CW too?
Yeah, they got a multi-tiered deal for the new Pac-12. So Tier 1, they've got 5 games on CBS, the real CBS. Then they got a ton of games on CBS Sports Network. They have a deal to show 1 to 2 games every week on the CW, and now they have just signed a deal for pretty much the remainder of their games to be on USA. USA
they're trying to add.
The people at Peacock, NBC, is kind of spinning USA off onto its own company. and selling it, and they're starting USA Sports,
Yeah.
and so the Pac-12 will have a ton of games on the USA Network. So their media rights deal is with CBS Sports Network, USA, and the CW. So it's kind of a weird media rights deal. I don't know what their dollar amount is, if they got similar to the American money or not, with USA being added in. But it's an interesting deal.
No doubt.
Has anybody noticed the? I'm finding the rivalry very intriguing between the Mountain West and the Pac. What do they call themselves, Kyle? The Pac what?
The Pac-12.
Okay. Two female, commissioners, and they don't like each other, and it's going to get ugly. And there's lawsuits, and I think that you're right. If the American would have sent 8 teams to the Pac-12, it would have been like game over for the Mountain West.
It would have been game over for the Mountain West, game over for the American. It would have been have been it. I mean, it would have been if they didn't call it Power 6, it would be the Power 5 and I think the Pac-12 really screwed up there. I think it was very short-sighted on their part.
I agree.
Because
if only you were the commissioner of the Pac-12, and I'm not being completely, there's a little bit of truth in there. They might be in better shape, Kyle.
Well, they have.
I can tell you this: I wouldn't have invited 4 teams from the American and looked at the American's television revenue, knowing we're not going to get much more, and thinking those 4 schools would come for no apparent reason and have to pay an exit fee. You would have invited enough to make a dent. Maybe even at that point, what are we a 13-team league for football? I don't know what the bylaws are, how many teams would have to leave the league to vote to dissolve it. But if they'd been invited 8 or 9, I think it would. I think you could have. I think it would have worked, and I think we would have all went and formed that new Pac-12. But what they did, they ended up with 7 Mountain West teams in Texas State. So, good move, you morons.
How about Kevin says Kyle for NCAA football commissioner?
Yeah. Okay. I'll do it. If offered, I will accept.
What is your? We have the players with the revenue sharing. What is your salary, Kyle, for the NCAA football commissioner? What would you do it for?
What, you're asking me to name my own salary?
He do it for free.
No, well, I mean, I don't know. What are you offering, Dave?
I'm just saying, what would it take for you to become the NCAA?
What would it take? I mean, hell, I'm comparing it to what I make now. Give me $100,000, I'll be tickled pink. So I'll take whatever they offer. I'm sure whatever they offer for NCAA commissioner will be more than what I make. Unfortunately, Dave, I don't think it's going to be a reality.
I know that, but I'm curious.
Never can tell.
Well, how much for you, Dave? What would it take for you to do it?
I mean, just like you, I would say 200,000 a year.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, you guys are selling yourself short, man. That job pays about several million a year. You guys are
really
exactly.
Well, that's what I was figuring. But you're asking me what I would do it for. I mean, they're overpaying me if they're offering me $1 million to do it, because I'd do it for a lot less.
Brandon says, "What about a home and home with UCF?"
I'd be great, but I don't think it's going to happen.
Greg Sankey is making $4.22 million. Thank you, Bubba.
So they'd gladly pay you guys.
Greg Sankey, the weakest, most feckless commissioner of any business or any sport we've ever had. I mean, this guy is a train wreck.
But here's the thing, Matt. Roy Kramer, when he was SEC commissioner, he was the man. Like, that dude was a man's man. He did things the right way. I agree with you. Sankey, he is a jerk off, in my opinion. I mean, he's not good for the game. Let's just put it that way.
The Big Ten is past SEC now, so that should tell you something.
There you go.
Who's the commissioner? Who's the commit? Well, there's a reason for that, and there's not much SEC can do about it. But who's the commissioner of the ACC?
Oh, Jim Phillips.
He's worse
ACC. It's Phillips. Jim Phillips.
He's worse than Sankey. The thing with the Big Ten, and the reason they passed the ACC, or the SEC,
I agree.
The reason the Big Ten passed the SEC is when they expanded, they not only added tremendous football programs with USC, UCLA, Washington, Oregon. They already had the New York media market with Rutgers. They already had the Philadelphia Pittsburgh media market with Penn State.
Maryland.
They already had Maryland, Baltimore, DC media market. They already had, the state of Ohio. They already had the state of Michigan. They already had these big media markets. And then when they expanded, they brought in Los Angeles, Seattle, Portland. So there's really not much the SEC could counter with except bringing in Texas and Oklahoma. In terms of
East
them
Carolina.
passing.
They should bring in East Carolina.
The SEC, yeah.
Yeah, there's no North Carolina in the Big Ten.
Or the SEC, and we're not going to
fastest growing state, Kyle.
Yeah, but it's not going to be us. If we get in anywhere, it'll be the ACC when they lose some more members, unless something crazy happens with the Big 12 and we just get on a roll.
Oh no, it would definitely not be us. I'm thinking we could replace whoever went to there. That's what I was thinking. But
yeah, that's what I meant too by when I said the ACC. Yeah, if North Carolina, NC State, Duke, get picked up by the SEC and Big Ten, then there could be a spot for us in the ACC at that point when they become a group of 6 or 7 school or league rather.
All right, what do you guys think about? Change the subject a little bit about the whole Heisman Trophy deal over the weekend, which the Indiana quarterback got it, but the Vanderbilt quarterback, I'm really not liking this kid.
Not at all.
Pavia saying to the Heisman voters, F all the voters. Because
what a contrast.
Yeah, he is like Mendoza is playing for the number 1 team in the country, okay?
Yeah.
And I don't have anything against Vanderbilt, but somebody put a leash on that guy. Like he has said, hey, Matt, we talked about trash talking earlier. Poppy is one of the best trash talkers. The problem is with trash talking is if you're Larry Bird, that's why they call him Larry Legend. He talked a lot of trash. He could back it up. And the problem with Poppy is he is a great trash talker, but really is he? Because he can't back it up. So
what is Vanderbilt's record this year?
Vanderbilt was better this year than they have been a long time, but
then they go 9-3.
Yeah, it's just the fact that be gracious when you lose, dude.
Thank you, Stevie.
Have some freaking manners.
But is it a gimmick? Is it a gimmick? How serious was he with F?
No, he's been that way since he was at New Mexico State.
Not. It's disrespectful. I mean, you have some respect, dude. You didn't win. What kind of message are you sending there? That's stupid.
And Clark Lee's really not the kind of guy to put up with that kind of stuff. Like I'm surprised. Clark Lee, I don't think that he doesn't want his players to represent the university like that. I'm sure of that.
The message it sends to me is I really like to win.
What? But there's other ways than what he did to say I want to win. I'm disappointed. Not F the voters because I didn't get my way.
You know what? I find it refreshing a little bit, and here's why. Because I hear the same. I'm going to tell you why. Because I hear the same bullshit from so many people. Oh, give all the glory to God and from the name of Jesus Christ. Jesus don't watch college football. You shut up. Shut up with the same bull crap over and over. I find it refreshing because that's kind of when I was 20-some years old. That's kind of what I would have said too. Not now as a mature 45-year-old man, of course not. But when I was in my 20s, that's kind of what I would have said too. So I without hearing him say it, without hearing the context he say it in,
what context could he do? I mean, there was no other context he could be saying, but he said he flat out said "F you voters." I mean,
was it tongue in cheek?
No.
Oh, that's the thing.
No, it was not tongue in cheek. He walked in that place like
he was mad as hell. He wanted to win it, yes, but you may say that. Hey, I may say that privately to you guys, like my friend behind the scenes, but I'm sure as hell not going to put it on social media.
I agree. I don't agree with that. I mean,
I want to get some men's comments on this.
No, I got to agree with Stevie on this one, man. I just that was a little. All right, Kyle, watch the video I just sent you guys.
Yeah.
And then tell me what you think of him after you watch that.
All right.
Yeah.
I gotta watch the video.
And then Matt,
I'm a little brash. I don't mind a little, cockiness.
I don't mind. But
I just think there's something about Pavia that rubs me the wrong way. He's really arrogant.
But
I agree.
Matt, like I was saying, the problem with him is there's nothing wrong with trash talking if you can back it up. This guy cannot back it up. I know he. Go ahead.
Look at Bubba. Look at Bubba's comment down there. I mean, that wasn't the first time his brother got booted from the stadium either. His brother's had a couple of run-ins with the law at the stadium there. I mean,
he doesn't know the meaning of winning graciously, and that's part of the Heisman. I'm sorry, sportsmanship is part of the Heisman. They're never going to give the Heisman to a thug ever.
No,
and I'm not saying he's a thug.
I'm telling you right now, looking at this kid and looking at his entourage walking in, I could be 100% wrong. I've been wrong before. It's happened at least once. This kid's a gimmick. Stevie, watch that video Matt just sent.
Oh, I've seen it, bud.
He's a gimmick. He's the gimmick. He's using
the wrong
gimmick. If it doesn't work out in the NFL for him, he'll be in the WWE.
Well,
he's Johnny Manziel, .2.
Exactly. That was exactly what I was going to say, JR. He's Johnny Manziel. And where has that got Johnny Manziel?
Johnny,
look at that. When is he going to show up on Raw? There you go. Exactly.
Exactly.
He's a gimmick. He is a gimmick. If that kid, look, let me be very clear on this. If this kid really thinks that much of himself, then he's a narcissist and he's an asshole. I'm not convinced of that. I'm not convinced it's not a gimmick.
I'm going to send you a tape, Kyle, from his freshman year at New Mexico State. No, actually, I think it was his sophomore year. And when he's grabbing his crotch and doing all kinds of things every time he did something against UTEP. They were up by like 40 points. And
a rivalry game between UTEP and New Mexico State.
Yeah, okay. Well,
that
doesn't excuse him, though.
It is a rivalry game.
He does.
Doesn't matter. It's uncalled for. I decided right then I don't like him.
I'm not a fan.
Here's the thing about Manziel. Like, Manziel was a truly great college player. Not good. He was a great college player.
Definitely.
But he's kind of become like a pathetic character. Like, you see him now, he's still dressed. He's like he's 19. He's still got this attitude.
Living in the old days, living in his past.
Yeah, but he was
never. It's like somebody needs to shake him. Somebody needs to shake him by the neck.
You know who he misses, Matt? You know who he misses really badly right now is Mike Evans. I mean, because that dude, I don't know if he would have been. I loved watching him. I agree with you. He was just a ridiculous player. I loved watching him. But, Mike Evans, having him on that team really, really, really helped him do what he did.
Well, the thing that ruined him in the NFL was the fact that he got drafted by Cleveland. I mean, they could Cleveland can screw up a 3-car funeral.
Yeah, Stevie, that's where your career goes. You go to die, right?
I mean, Shador, ain't nobody fitting Shador for his gold jacket after today either. So, I mean.
Well, hey, Matt, I'll say in closing, and Kyle and Stevie, Pavia is trying to get another year, which will be like 7. And if he does, he's gonna just get worse. So I'm hoping that he does not get another year somehow.
If you guys really think that this kid who is smart enough to go to Vanderbilt isn't doing this stuff as a gimmick, I mean,
smart enough to go to Vanderbilt.
Yeah,
I mean, they've never pulled strings to get him in place with him.
He's been there at Vandy. They haven't. Maybe recently, suddenly they might, but typically at Vandy they have not.
All of a sudden, they've got a good football team too. So
Yeah.
I think
They do
Hey,
now.
I just want to say on Wednesday night, I said what Clark Lee said, and he said, we're getting players now that we couldn't get before. Now, you interpret that how you want to.
They have a president now that finally gets it that we're Vanderbilt. We've got a lot of damn money, and we should be better than just in sports than just baseball. And so, yes, they are getting players. Kyle, you're right. That institution in the past would not even flinch. They would not even budge for a good player that didn't have the grades. Now, I'm not saying they let anybody in, but they are definitely more, let's just use the word flexible than they have been in the past.
Yeah, and look, if you're going to play SEC football, you have to be flexible. I mean, if not, just drop down to another league, because go play Ivy League football, because to compete at that level, you have got to make exceptions for football players, whether it's the SAT or whether it's just the GPA you're looking at, whatever it is, if you're going to compete at that level, you got to make exceptions.
No doubt.
I agree.
So I did want to ask you guys before we get out of here. I know we're getting close to that 2-hour mark, but thanks again, by the way, a huge crowd, fellas. So we appreciate everybody sticking with us. I want to ask you guys about coaching hires. Are there any ones that surprise you? Or are there ones that are jobs still out there that you're surprised they have? Just give me your idea for the coaching carousel right now.
I'll tell you what I like. We talked about Jim Moore going. I actually like a lot of people's hires. I think Colorado State did tremendous hiring Moore Jr. I think UConn responded well by hiring Toledo's head coach Candle. I think Penn State did a good job hiring Matt Campbell. I think Franklin of Virginia Tech was a good hire. I think Coastal Carolina did a good job hiring Missouri State's head coach. Those are the hires I like. Huff to Memphis, it'll be interesting. I don't think Huff's the best X's and O's guy, but I do think he works the portal and recruits really well with that FedEx money. It'll be interesting to see how that works out at Memphis. I don't love it, but I don't hate it. South Florida's hire of the Ohio State OC, I like that. Did not love Tulane promoting Will Hall at all.
That was great.
Yeah. Not a huge fan of Billy Napier to JMU. It's okay. It's kind of the same with North Texas hiring Neil Brown. I'm not a huge fan, but it's okay. What's everybody else's takes?
What about the UAB hire, Kyle? How do you feel about that?
It was horrible. You freaking hire you hire your offensive coordinator off of a bad team. I mean, it made absolutely no. And he did have the one upset of Memphis, but that was literally when Memphis didn't have their starting quarterback, and he didn't do anything else really. I don't understand it. It was a lazy hire. It was a bad hire.
Yeah.
Watch it work out, but on paper, it's a bad hire.
I agree. That Memphis game, I don't care if he was injured or not. That is one of the biggest WTF games of the season. That game is perplexing to me, how that even happened. But yeah, it was a one-time thing. They never followed through with any other good efforts after that.
Yeah, Summerall to Florida, I liked that hire more so than Matt did. Matt, what do you think of the hire Summerall is making so far?
Yeah, I've been mixed on it. I mean, it didn't blow me away. I won't go as far to say it was a bad hire, but I just don't know how much it moves the needle for Florida.
What do you think of his staff hires so far?
Throw some names at me. I haven't really.
I don't know. Kenneth just commented and said the staff hires have been awesome. Put some names out there. That was Kenneth that commented that, right?
Yeah, Kenneth Maynard.
Yeah, Kenneth Maynard. Put some of those staff hires out there because honestly, I haven't been following it, and I thought maybe Matt had because Chrissy, his wife's an alum at Florida. But put some of those hires out there that Summerall has hired, and then we'll engage them a little better.
Yeah. While we're pulling that up, guy, I do think Franklin to Virginia Tech, tremendous hire.
I do too, Matt.
Oh yes.
Buster Faulkner, where was he at, guy? I know that
Okay,
name.
Buster Faulkner was it. He was the quarterback for Georgia Tech. He was the offensive coordinator for Georgia Tech.
Yeah, that is a good hire. That's a good hire.
Penn State O-line coach.
Okay.
That sounds good.
Oh, Bubba's talking about UAB. I'd not say so quick. Alex Mortensen, honestly, I won't be surprised. That is a tough job that has only been solved by Watson Brown, of course, Mac Brown's older brother, and Bill Clark, not our Bill Clark.
Two legends.
Yeah.
Those are two legends.
One legend and a Watson Brown.
And we talked about earlier, if you're just joining us, we talked about the Michigan job still open and Kalen DeBoer going. I'm
still waiting for my phone call.
Yep.
Your phone call?
For the Michigan job.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, you can take that.
Yeah, the Vanderbilt quarterback has issued an apology. I guess he heard us talking about it.
That's why, exactly. And he feels bad. He has remorse now, Matt. He has remorse that he said that to the voters of the Heisman Trophy. And when he heard our show, then he saw it. He said he had to back down and he had to apologize.
Talking about Pirate briefly here. Pirate basketball, 21-point comeback today over Buffalo. So congratulations to them for beating a really bad football team or basketball team. But coming from 21 points down, better than losing to them. So a step in the right direction for Coach Schwartz and his band of merry pirates. But a 21-point comeback is very impressive under no matter who it's against. So JR, if you wanted to comment on that, or Dave.
I'll just say that I was at the game, and Corey Cocker, he still can't shoot straight, but he was playing tremendous. I mean, Stephen Igo claims that he has 2 pictures of Corey Cocker. And I'm not saying he claims, I'm sure he does. I'm not questioning the legitimacy of Corey Cocker shooting the ball with his eyes closed. So that might be part of the problem why he just can't make a basket. But he made up for it today on the defensive side. He was relentless. The guy that had 29 at halftime had 2 points in the second half. And it wasn't all Cocker because he didn't even play the whole second half. They were rotating all 4 guards. And I'm gonna call Jordan Riley a guard today because he was playing the 4, but really he was covering a lot on this guy. So they teamed up on him, and he only had 2 points in the second half. I thought it was great coaching and great effort by everybody defensively. I still want to see some turnovers cut down. Although this is the second game in a row we've had under 10 turnovers, and the first 8 games or 9 games, we had double-digit turnovers every game. So things are improving a little bit, but you know what? We only have one more tune-up against Presbyterian, and then, it gets real with North Carolina and then the conference schedule.
I heard that laugh, Kyle.
Yeah, we're going to beat the Tar Heels, watch.
Oh, my God. UNC Asheville lost to the Lady Pirates today, 75-61. So congrats to Coach Kim.
Awesome.
So happy about both of the men and women won in basketball today. It was a very good day for me for sports because my Commanders won finally after losing 8 straight games. You want to talk about being miserable? Imagine if the Pirates lost 8 straight.
We don't have to imagine. We've done it.
Yeah, we've done that.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying, I'm talking about if, like with everything going on right now with the offensive defensive coordinator, you're worried about that. But how about
the Panthers?
The Panthers
ripped my heart out today because they let New Orleans come back, and that, Matt, I don't know how you feel about this. I think you've commented on this before. Okay, so the Saints are trying to get into field goal position. They only have time for a play or two, and Tyler Shuck, their quarterback, does a quarterback draw to try to get as many yards as he can to make the field goal manageable. And as Ransom, the safety for Carolina's, zeroing in on him to stop his progress, he starts to slide. Ransom there's no way he can stop his momentum, and he hits Shuck. Shuck acts like he just got hit by a truck or something, starts rolling around. They call 15 yards, and then New Orleans makes a field goal, and it left a really bad taste in my mouth. Maybe other people saw that differently, but that's how I saw it. It was horrible.
Yeah, I didn't see it yet, but these. So they called what did they call an illegal hit to the head? What was
15 yard? It's just a rough and
and then of course the announcer said, "Well, I understand the frustration, but that is the rule, and they need to call it. They have to protect the quarterback." Well, then the quarterback shouldn't be able to use that rule to get extra yards. You know what I'm saying?
You guys remember a few years back? Kenny Pickett in the ACC championship game, faked and then kept on running. Yeah, these quarterbacks know what they're doing.
Yeah, I do remember that, Stevie. That was the best play of his career.
And Matt, you're not going to pick up for the quarterbacks, right?
What's that?
As a defensive linebacker.
Oh no, I'm definitely not. Look, I grew up watching Lawrence Taylor. Like he was my.
Oh yeah.
He was the guy that I just. Loved watching. Like in sports, there's really 2 guys I would tune in for no matter what: Michael Jordan, and then Lawrence Taylor.
Glad to hear you're such a Tar Heel, Matt. That's good to know.
As a Knicks fan, that's big for.
He's a Tar Heel. He loves Lawrence Taylor and Michael Jordan.
That's true. I never really thought of that. They're both Tar Heels, but
disgusting. That's disgusting, Matt.
If you guys ever want to. Just highlight how much the game of football has changed. Google Lawrence Taylor versus Ron Jaworski. I mean,
yes, I've seen it, Matt.
oh, the hits that
Always
Taylor
hit.
would put on Jaworski were brutal. Like you couldn't do any of that stuff today.
I know that's
Yeah. And how about Sean Taylor, Dave? You're a Redskins fan. I was at the time. How about Sean Taylor in the Pro Bowl leveling the punter?
Oh,
You know,
yeah.
Do you remember that?
Let me tell you something.
Still has that jersey where it's got a piece of I think it's got a piece of some of Sean Taylor's equipment on it. He hit it so hard.
Taylor being murdered hurt our franchise, set it back more than our previous owner did. By the way, I've got here on this is from apparently a few hours ago. I didn't know this, but Kalen DeBoer released a statement. He said, "I have not spoken and have no interest in speaking with anyone else about any other job. I'm fully committed to this program and look forward to continuing as the head football coach at the University of Alabama."
He's gone then, if that's what he's saying.
I thought the same thing.
Whenever they say that, that's just like the owner saying, "Well, we're totally committed to this coach."
It reminds me of when Bill Clinton stood in front of the country and said, I did not have sexual relations with that young woman.
So you're saying that he's definitely going to be, every head coach says it. I know.
Well, I mean, what is he supposed to say? What is DeBoer supposed to say? Yeah, I mean, I
hate it here.
I've got some interest in that, right? I think I'm gonna shoot on over there and talk to Michigan for a little while.
Well, how much, by the way, Matt, what do you guys think? A $10 million, $12 million a year deal? I mean, if Michigan has got a lot of money, and they're also being in the Big Ten. How much do you think that they could offer him, at least in that range?
I don't. What is he making at Alabama?
Let me look that up.
I think he's like the fifth highest paid coach right now, something like that. I think he's in like the $7 or $8 million range.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah. Oh no, actually, he's getting this year. He signed a 8-year, $87 million, and it's going to it keeps going up. 10 million, eventually 11.75 with a significant. He has a buyout that's 60 to 63 million.
Good God. Yeah. I think he's probably happy at Alabama, and I think with that buyout, Michigan might be happy to let him stay at Alabama.
Yeah, that's what. When I saw that, I didn't realize it was that high.
They're going to want to make a splash, though.
Biff Poggi.
Matt, they told him he has to wear T-shirts that are not cut off, and so he turned down the gig. T-shirts.
I'll tell you guys, this is something to consider. You might laugh. A guy I would seriously look at in a job like that would be Greg Schiano from Rutgers. He's a really good coach. He's playing in a team that really doesn't belong in the Big Ten. Very good coach. If you put him in a job like Michigan, he would win big. Might be a tough sell with the fan base, but he's a good coach.
He is a good coach.
As far as Michigan, go ahead, JR.
No, I was just going to say he is a good coach. I just not one of my favorites. I know he's a Jersey guy, Matt, but he was named for a few days as the next coach at the University of Tennessee, and the backlash was pretty significant, and that ended up not happening. But every time he takes on a job, he does do like a miraculous thing. So just think if he had all the resources that Michigan did, he probably would do very well.
Yeah, and that's the type of guy I think you're going to get right now. There's really there's no name brand guy, that kind of jumps off the table at you. So, what about the guy at Minnesota that everybody thinks is such a great coach?
The row the boat guy?
Nobody thinks he's that great.
Yeah, they're taking on some water, Matt. That boat's taking on some water. They're not really killing it lately.
Yeah, you're about a decade on that one.
I know. It's funny though. I still keep hearing his name pop up for different jobs, and he's in my opinion not.
No, Baba. Nobody hated the hypo hire. Maybe, but I wasn't aware of that. That guy. He's an offensive genius.
He made
a lot of the Tennessee fans did not like that hire when when Tennessee hired the UCF AD, and then he brought Heupel with him, a lot of their fans initially did not like that hire.
Yeah, Danny White.
Yeah. So
the UCF national champions.
They were.
Yeah.
According to the Coley Matrix, which was part of the BCS formula, which was still on the books at the time, if you won the Coley Matrix, you won a part of the national title, and by the Coley Matrix, they were national champion. So they legitimately had a claim for a part of that national championship.
I think Scott Frost has a ring, doesn't he?
Yeah, I believe so. Yes.
So, what do you think about will Scott Frost do well?
Year 1 at 5-7. They had a chance to go to a bowl. They were one of the ones that turned it down. I think eventually he'll do okay. I think it's a tough transition into the Big 12, and I think they're having some growing pains. I think he will. What is doing well? Do I think he's going to win the Big 12? Probably not, but I think he'll, have him in bowl games.
Belichick to Michigan, LMAO. Maybe he can find another Tom Brady. We'll see about that. Wake Forest's top receiver entered the portal. Hey, East Carolina.
Yeah, I don't think so.
He's like, no. We're going to get some more wide receivers, but not from Wake Forest. And speaking of which, I would love to be able to play them but they don't want to play us. They're scared to play us because we're good again. So they don't want to play us. And it's sad. But one of these days, I tell you what, we were talking about the ACC. Let me ask you this question, guys. By the way, I was thinking about this too, the Wake Forest situation. There's nobody in North Carolina. What team in North Carolina has a national championship? App doesn't. North Carolina does.
App does at the FCS level.
I know. I'm talking about FBS. I know they have the FCS, but I'm talking about with FBS level. But Wake, Duke, North Carolina, NC State. There's 7 Division I.
Neither do we.
No, I know we don't. I'm just saying they have no business looking down at us as far as football.
Oh, well, you know what? And this is where I disagree with Gilbert again on scheduling philosophy. When they canceled that game with us, I wouldn't have kept the home game in Winston-Salem because I think it sets a precedent to NC State and UNC that we'll do a bye game with them in Chapel Hill or Raleigh.
Yep. That's true. And Wake Forest, again, being a small school, a great school, prestigious school, not questioning that, but as far as acting like they're going to be a national champion anytime soon, or any ACC school, any of the rest of the schools are really in the same boat that we are.
We'll go to Winston-Salem, that dump of a city, and pack their stadium for them and give them our money and hopefully beat their ass.
Yeah, well, we better have. How about that, Bubba? You're right, Bubba. We need to have at least 10,000 people. Make that like show people what we're all about there, because they probably won't have that many people there. And Kenneth Maynard says UNC will argue there's too many FBS schools in North Carolina and it dilutes their opportunity to win a national title. Listen, they haven't had a national title since 1980. NC State 19 ACC title since 1979. We're not even talking about a damn national. Forget the damn national title. They can't even win the ACC. So how in the hell are they going to win a national title when they can't win the ACC? But I'm not trying to throw shade. I'm just making my point that none of these schools in North Carolina should ever look down on us when they can't win their own conference. And like Kyle said, App State will definitely play us. So I'm not throwing them. And of course, we play Matt's favorite school, Charlotte, and in the American now. So we play 2 out of the other 6 schools, but we'll see how. Maybe one day we'll get to play them again. Maybe one day.
Who's that?
I think Temple surpassed Charlotte as Matt's favorite school. Am I right, Matt?
You know what?
You hate them all.
So the reason why I hate Charlotte is because
they
didn't earn their way to, FBS status. They just were fortunate enough to be in a large city, where they just basically they thought that would bring in TV dollars. But
correct.
I mean, they had no business ever getting there. Now Temple, it's funny you say that, JR, because I just have no respect for their fan base. I mean, I'm telling you, there are games where there are, if there's 1,000 people there, I would be surprised. 1,000, and that's including their band and their cheerleaders. So yeah, I really am growing to hate Temple too.
Yeah, another team that doesn't have a stadium.
Yeah, at Dowdy Ficklin, it's tarps off, and the Franklin, what do they call it? Franklin Financial Field. It's tarps on. They'll tarp off on an entire section so it doesn't look as bad, on TV.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. I'm telling you, it's bad when the TV cameraman is not allowed to zoom out like at all into the crowd.
I've noticed that.
He's got to keep that camera lined up perfectly so at the edge of the screen is like right before you could see the bleachers. That's when it's bad.
Yeah, it's. I mean, that's the thing is that I know we talked about it a lot, but we were talking about earlier about the conference, and we talked about adding schools. What schools, with James Madison? I would have added Marshall for sure to the American when we went to the expansion. I didn't like a lot of people the Rice situation because they don't have any fans. I know they played better as far as to get into a bowl, but it was 5-7. But JMU has a lot of money, like Liberty has a lot of money. There's a lot of schools that we could have in the American that would be great for us because it is a short drive to both stadiums. But
I would say JMU's quality football program has proved it. National championships at the FCS level, playoffs this year at the FBS level. I would add them. You get a new market with Virginia. So yeah, I would add JMU. I wouldn't add beyond that right now. But guys, I don't know about you, but we've been going well over 2 hours. I'm about ready to wrap this thing up. We got we'll be doing something Wednesday night, and then I guess the next Sunday night, guys, we'll do the Christmas and bowl preview in one. So we'll next Sunday night. So I don't know what we're doing Wednesday night, Dave. We'll figure that out between now and then, but I'm sure there'll be something to talk about. But next Sunday night, guys, tune in. It'll be a big show. We're going to do our bowl preview and then our Christmas special, where we'll talk about everything from favorite Christmas movies, favorite Christmas songs, favorite Christmas presents growing up, Christmas memories.
Die Hard is a Christmas movie, Stevie.
It is not.
Worst Christmas songs is always a good one.
So again, Matt?
Worst Christmas songs is always a good one.
Yeah, I know. What is the one you hate, Matt?
Wonderful.
The freaking George Michael or something?
Simply having a wonderful Christmas time.
Oh.
Is that the one?
No, there's one. Last Christmas.
Oh, Last Christmas. I gave you my heart. Yes.
Yeah, I actually like that one, but
I want to throw up when I hear that song.
You gave it away.
What about Mariah Carey? All I Want for Christmas.
Overplayed.
It's a good
fatigue.
Overplayed. I like the Waitresses.
Oh, I hate that song.
Christmas rapping. Oh, that's a great song.
Hey, Matt, what about Christmas in Hollis? I love Run DMC.
It's Christmas time in Hollis, Queens.
that
Mama's cooking and turn up green. Yeah, it's a great song. Collard greens.
So that gives you a little bit of
turnip greens.
Yes, collard greens. Yeah, that's the white version. No, turnip greens.
I do feel the need to take Kyle to task this year on one of his top 5 favorite Christmas movies.
Which one is it? Which one is it?
I'm just feeling the need to take you to task on it.
What is it? Is it Ernest?
Oh, it's freaking Ernest, dude.
No, man, you need to watch that again. Look, I know what it is. You're Yankee ass. You don't appreciate Jim Varney's humor. Being a Yankee, I mean,
Yankee ass.
Yeah, you're Yankee ass. Don't appreciate Jim Varney's humor. That's what that is.
Hey, Matt, I think I can come up with a Christmas song that you despise worse than any that have already been mentioned.
All right, let's hear it.
I want a hippopotamus for Christmas.
I want a hippopotamus for Christmas.
That is maybe the worst song of any category ever made.
Well,
a real little girl sang that song.
Here's the deal with that song. I agree with you guys. When Mackenzie was her first Christmas, she was 9 months old.
Yeah. Go ahead, Dave. I'm sorry. I'll let you. I will not talk over you on this one. Start over.
Okay. So I agree. Here's what happened. It's one of those moments where I thought that was the most one of the most annoying novelty Christmas songs ever, right? And then you have a daughter who Christmas Day at 4:00 that back in 2014, she had a seizure. It scared the hell out of me. And so we take her to the hospital, and it turned out that it was a febrile seizure because she had a fever and went up. So everything was okay. And then we had a toy for her that was a hippopotamus, and they played that song, and it made her so happy. And and so I agree with you, like how much, but then when that moment happened, I have to say that song has a special place in my heart. And man, I can't believe of all songs, like to do that.
Now I feel like a heel, Dave.
Why?
Wow.
Because I was making fun of the song.
Yeah,
I know. What I'm saying is, no, you don't have to feel that. You don't have to feel like.
Well, I'll think of it differently from this point forward. Now that I know that.
Yeah, that song, I was like, man, that is the most, like, and then you have that moment. It was like such a tender moment with your daughter,
Yeah.
All right. We'll scratch that one, Matt. How about Grandma Got Run Over by a Reindeer? That's got to be up there.
That's a great song.
That's a really good song.
That's a great thing.
Hey, Matt.
JR, you know why you don't like Grandma Got Run Over by a Reindeer?
Well, maybe the first 983 times.
You know why you don't like it, JR?
Why?
Because you're from Northern Virginia with your Yankee ass.
No. I'm not a Yankee. You're right, though. Northern Virginia is a bunch of Yankees. I'm not one of them.
I know. I actually got a lot of people I care about in Northern Virginia. They're not Yankees.
Hey, guys.
Stevie Fluff.
Breaking news here. 2 people found dead at Rob Reiner's house.
He's dead.
Said they were
Meathead?
78 and 68 years old, the bodies, and that's the age of him and his wife.
Yep.
Rob Reiner. That's
Meathead off All in the Family.
And a great director.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Meathead.
Yeah.
Was it suicide? What was the deal? Oh, good Lord. That's huge All in the Family fan here. I don't know why the name Rob Reiner did not immediately ring a bell to who that was. But obviously, his character on All in the Family was a huge part of the show. It was a great director after that. But I'll always think of him as Michael Stivic, a.k.a. Meathead.
Yeah. When Harry Met Sally, probably the best rom-com ever, I would say.
Dave, if you ever say rom-com again, we're all going to leave the show and you're going to do it by yourself.
Well, it is a romantic comedy. I mean,
rom-com.
All right, let's see. And going back to our Christmas, this is our Christmas preview. What we doing next?
Robert L. King, Merry Christmas from the Family. It's a tremendous song. You about to say it. My wife loves the Montgomery Gentry cover of that. It's more polished. I really like Robert L. King's Texas Independent raw, version of Merry Christmas from the Family. But the Montgomery Gentry version is a good cover.
No doubt. All right.
Hey, Matt, before next Sunday, Matt Semenza, watch Ernest Saves Christmas for me, and you tell me if you still hate it.
All right. Out of respect for you, I will check it out. Only because we're good friends.
I love that.
So I'll do it. And I'll give you an honest evaluation next week.
It is hysterical. It is hysterical. You watch him when he plays. I sent you a clip when he was doing the horror movie thing, where he's got the poison snakes. I sent you that clip, Matt. Did you watch it?
I did. It was funny.
Year, though, so I'm trying to
remember.
It was fun.
A couple weeks ago.
Yes. Yeah.
Wait, what was the clip about?
That he wanted to get through the checkpoint, right? And he had a tarp over the back of the pickup truck, and he said
poison snakes, poison.
I might have missed it, honestly. I might have missed that text. But
I can't wait to hear that, because I could go ahead and tell you right now, Matt's going to say, fellas, I really tried hard to watch it. Kyle, you and I are good friends.
I doubt it. I think
that movie was brutal.
No, if you don't appreciate Jim Varney,
I like Ernest. No, I love Ernest.
Well, Jim Varney's a great actor, extremely underrated actor. Everybody just talks about him for Vernus. He was a Shakespearean trained actor.
I was going to say
he was Slinky Dog from Toy Story, and in a horrible version. The remake of the Beverly Hillbillies was absolute trash. but his portrayal of Jed Clampett was the only thing worth watching in that horrible movie.
That was horrible. I give you that.
You know, one of the problems with Christmas movies now is that they really only show the same 3 movies over and over. They show the Chevy Chase, Christmas Vacation. They show the Christmas Story for 48 hours. And what happens is you start to watch the same ones over and over, and then it kind of takes away from watching them a little bit.
I got one for you, Matt. We watched it the other night. I watch it every year, and I probably talked about it. I'll talk about it on the Christmas special next week. But not the '94 remake, but the original 1930s version, 1940s version, whenever it came out, of Miracle on 34th Street.
Yes,
I think that's one of the most genius courtroom scenes in movie history, particularly from when that movie came out, late 30s, early 40s.
47.
Okay, 47 was it? Okay. So you take something that is unprovable. How do you prove Santa Claus is real? Because Santa Claus doesn't exist. Kids, put your fingers in your ear. How do you prove it? In a legitimate scene where this is a legitimate courtroom scene. That movie's more of a courtroom drama than people give it credit for. And how do they do it? It's genius. The judge does not want to find that Santa Claus is fake because everybody's falling in love with this man at Macy's and Santa Claus, and it's the top story in New York papers. And he's trying, he doesn't want to. And the Postal Service starts delivering the mail written to Santa Claus to the courthouse there, and the lawyer proposes the Postal Service is a branch of the United States government recognizes this man as Santa Claus. And the judge says we do not have the power to overrule the federal government. And I think it's genius. You guys agree with that?
Yeah, I do. I love that movie. And I've always thought it was underrated because the reason why It's a Wonderful Life got all the notoriety it had because it was public domain for many years, meaning there was no copyright.
Yeah, people could just rerun it over and over again and it didn't cost anything. Yeah.
Yeah. But as far as that movie, that's also underrated because at the box office, it was a flop. Unfortunately, I can't believe that, but it was. And those 2 movies are, to me, I would say Miracle on 34th Street still has that underrated feeling as far as people like it, but you don't hear about it as much as you
No, and a lot of people only know the '94 version. But Matt, you're a big movie buff.
Natalie Wood she was a little girl in that in 1947.
Yes. Matt, you're a big movie buff. What are your thoughts on the original Miracle on 34th Street, particularly the courtroom scene?
Oh, I definitely think it's up there with the classics. That it's definitely. I would say it's definitely one of the better Christmas movies out there. Really good traditional Christmas movie from back in the day. Those movies are kind of being lost, the further we get away from them.
Silent Night Deadly remake just came out, Mike. Oh, I did not realize they remade Silent Night Deadly Night.
Yeah.
I feel like we're creeping into next the next Sunday's Christmas show.
Yeah, we can close it out here and we'll save all this for next Sunday.
Yeah, this is what you call a tease. You're just going to have to tune in next Sunday night, folks.
Well, JR, this is one of the best shows of the year, buddy. I don't know if you heard it when before you joined the show.
Yeah. I remember back when y'all had I forget his name, the guy from A Christmas Story. What was his name? He had an unusual name. You all had him on.
Yeah. Grover Deal is.
Yeah, thank you.
But his real name is something like Spunky McGee or something. It's something strange. Hey, Alexa, who played Grover Deal on A Christmas Story?
Yano Anaya.
Grover Deal in A Christmas Story.
Yano Anaya.
Have y'all upgraded your Alexa yet? She's got a new sexy voice and it's much more intelligent.
Yeah.
Is Stevie still out there?
You haven't talked to me that way, Kyle. Just you.
I'm here.
Hey,
Stevie,
watch this.
Will you be prepared, Stevie, with the top 5?
I'll be prepared, dude. Don't worry about that.
Watch this. Watch this.
Hey, guys.
Hey, Alexa.
Oh, no.
Hold on. Go ahead, Kyle.
We just got confirmation.
No, Alexa, stop. That's not what I asked you.
Hey, guys. Just confirmation that apparently that there just came up on here that it's apparent homicide for Rob Reiner. He is dead at the age of 78. It just popped up.
Him and his wife were stabbed is what they were saying.
Hey,
oh, wow.
This is like, wasn't the Gene Hackman thing similar to this? Whatever happened with that? Was that
You never heard anything more from that.
No.
No, you haven't. You're right. You're right, Johnny. You're right, but
Wow.
that is crazy. Yeah, he he's passed away apparently. So that's crazy. They Rob Reiner and Mike Michelle found dead in L.A. home with stab wounds.
All right.
Wow.
In Brentwood. So that's one of the most. That's OJ country. So
Nothing but trouble in Brentwood. I'm telling you.
Well,
Get out of there. If you're in Brentwood, get out.
I just sold my house there the other day.
I did.
I know you moved to Jason to get away from the Hollywood.
I did.
Hammer and
Me and Kyle were neighbors in Brentwood. He moved to Jason. I moved to Alaska.
That's right.
The witness protection program.
Yeah, I was gonna mess with the talking thing here and ask her if she knew who Matt Semenza was and see what she said about him. So does anybody want to hear that to see if she knows anything about Matt Semenza?
Let's do that.
I'd like to.
All right. Hey, Alexa, do you know anything about Matt Semenza? No, Alexa, I'm not saying Maximizer. I'm saying the name Matt Semenza.
Matt, the Maximizer Semenza.
You're asking about the name Maximizer specifically.
No, Alexa, listen to me. Matt Semenza.
Sorry, what was that?
Alexa, do you know anything about Matt Semenza?
Obviously, she doesn't.
Well,
Alexa's uneducated.
Alexa, do you know anything about Dave Richmond?
Dave Richmond is a British bass player, born in 1930.
Oh, you're a British player?
Okay, there you
go. Alexa, stop. Yeah, she doesn't remember things very well.
She said, Bubba says, ask Matthew Semenza.
Alexa, do you know anything about Matthew Semenza?
Matthew Semenza is a regional vice president at Somerset Capital Group, based in Bridgeport, Connecticut.
That was me. That was me.
Wow.
Wow.
Technology transformation initiatives.
Is he involved in any podcast?
I don't have any information about Matthew Semenza being involved in podcasts.
I heard he's on the Sports Objective.
Alexa, you're trash. Trash.
Actually, the Sports Objective podcast is hosted by Dave Richmond, Kyle Barber, and Bubba Rosenbaum.
No, not.
Semenza listed as part of
Okay, Alexa, Bubba Rosenbaum is no longer part of it. It is now Kyle Barber, Dave Richmond, Matt Semenza, Stevie Flythe, and Johnny Robertson.
Flythe? What the hell?
I see.
Why don't you ask me who the Balsam Hills CEO is?
Podcast of Kyle Barber, Dave Richmond,
CEO,
Stevie Flythe, and Johnny Robertson. That's quite a lineup.
Yeah, it is.
Specific about the show you'd like to know.
I want you to tell me more about Dave Richmond.
Uh-oh.
Kyle Barber, Dave Richmond, Maximus, Stevie Fly, and Johnny Robertson.
Alexa,
what does he
tell
call
me more
Matt?
about Dave Richmond.
Dave Richmond is a British bass player.
No, Alexa.
Dave Richmond from Williamston.
Sports Objective.
I have a question for Alexa.
I'm the Sports Objective.
Alexa, tell me about Dave Richmond from the Sports Objective podcast.
Hold on. Maximizer has a question.
And host of the Sports Objective podcast. He's been with the show since its launch in March 2018, focusing on East Carolina University athletics and various sports topics.
Alexa, shut down.
Ask Alexa.
Dave's without two.
Ask Alexa this question, Kyle.
All right.
What is the Rotten Tomatoes rating for the movie Ernest Saves Christmas?
Alexa, what is the Rotten Tomatoes rating for Ernest Saves Christmas?
Oh, that's great.
Ernest Saves Christmas has a 40% rating on Rotten Tomatoes.
Okay.
All right. It's better than I thought.
Oh, that's classic, Matt.
Alexa, what are your thoughts on the movie Ernest Saves Christmas?
That's trash.
Oh, Ernest Saves Christmas. That's a wonderfully weird little gem from 1988. Jim Varney's Ernest is basically pure chaos wrapped in Christmas spirit, and somehow it works. The whole premise of Santa needing a successor before his magic runs out is surprisingly sweet underneath all the slapstick mayhem. Plus, it made $28 million on a $6.5 million budget. So clearly, people were into Ernest's brand of holiday hijinks. It's got that perfect mix of silly and sincere that makes for great comfort viewing during the holidays.
I got a request here. Hey, Alexa, can you tell me about the Snack Shack in Williamston?
Uh-oh.
I couldn't find a specific snack shack in Williamston, but there's a place called Spencer Snack Bar about 11.5 miles away in Windsor.
No, that's not it. Alexa, you need to get Alexa, stop. You need to get the Snack Shack on the Alexa there.
What about JJ Kitchen?
Alexa, do you know anything about JJ Kitchen? Alexa, shut up. Alexa, do you know anything about JJ Kitchen?
I found a few places with similar names.
No, Alexa.
The closest.
Do you know anything about JJ Kitchen from Pittsburgh?
Talking football with JJ Kitchen.
I found a few places with similar names.
Oh, God. Alexa, we're going to try this one more time. Do you know anything about Talking Football with JJ Kitchen?
Talking Football with JJ Kitchen is a podcast hosted by two former college football players who discuss all things football, from NFL to college, every week. They just released their latest episode titled Mock Draft 1.0 on April 1st, and it's about 33 minutes long. Want to know more about it?
No, I don't, and they've released episodes since then. You're a little behind, Tom.
All right.
Alexa, stop. All right, that's enough of this.
Do you guys have any final thoughts as we're at 2.5 hours? So Jim Cornette would be proud of us for our length of our show tonight.
We still be going for another.
Alexa, who provides the best stats in the state of North Carolina?
Alexa, who provides the best stats in the state of North Carolina?
Johnny Stats.
Several sources provide comprehensive sports statistics. For college sports, the University of North Carolina's Tar Heels program offers detailed.
No, Alexa,
no. We need to ban. Kevin says, Matt, you will love Ernest.
There you go. Yes.
All right. Well, wait. Who said that? Kevin. Okay, Kevin. All right, Kevin. I'm going to watch it. Out of respect for you guys, I'm going to watch it. I'll give it a fair chance.
I think you're like about 40% of it, Matt.
40?
Have you ever seen
I do
it?
Listen, I like trashy humor. Like Trailer Park Boys is one of my favorite shows.
There's nothing trashy about it.
Have you guys ever watched Trailer Park Boys? Well, one of the great shows ever made. Hysterical. So it's not that kind of humor. It's like very family friendly. Okay.
Very Southern. Ernest is a great character actor, and he brings his characters into the movie. So you have him playing the snake handler, trying to sneak snakes into the horror movie studio, or trying to sneak into the horror movie studio. You have him playing the lawyer. In the movie, you have him playing the mother of kind of the heel of the movie. It's very slapstick. It's funny shit.
Oh.
All right, I'll watch it.
All right. Anybody else going to watch Ernest this week?
I think I might join you. Yeah, I'm going to have to so I can, hold up a conversation.
Hey, Kyle, why don't you and Matt have a watch party with Ernest?
Well, that might not be a bad idea.
I want to know you people will watch. I can't wait for Matt's reaction. I just can't wait. I can't wait for your Matt Simmons is a great film critic, especially horror movies. But I would say that I think you're our film critic for the Sports Objective for TSO. So I'm dying to know your review.
Oh, I'll definitely give you a full review. And
make sure you're in the right state of mind, Matt. Have a couple shots of rum.
I could see Matt right now with a glass of brandy, a cigar, Hefner jacket. Maybe
I could see him. I could see him with some ginger ale and rum, sitting back watching Ernest.
I'll tell you, I do love Christmas horror movies. So
we'll have to talk about that.
Some really good ones. I won't. I know you guys are ready to go, but yeah, we'll bring those up next week too.
Hey, here's another one for you, Matt, that you could do on the Sports Objective Facebook. You could do a top 10 pirate movies.
I couldn't tell you 10 pirate movies.
No,
Pirates of the Caribbean, and there's 4 of them, right?
They need to make a Christmas horror pirate movie, and then we got all the bases covered right there.
There you go.
Oh, man, there you go.
Pirate movie.
I don't know of any that would be an original. I don't know of that, not off the top of my head, unless it was.
I'd watch it.
Yeah. Well, maybe we'll produce.
I think that was made. I think it was called the 2001 GMAC Ball.
Oh man, that was definitely a horror movie.
Yeah.
Damn.
I think I blocked that one out of my memory.
Yeah.
One of the up
Like
30
PTSD.
up 30 to nothing at halftime.
Yeah.
All right, not to end the show on a down note, but guys, thank you so much. I had so much fun. I don't think I've laughed that hard in a week or more. Appreciate it very much, Stevie. Have fun at work. And by the way, Stevie, I was told that there's going to be. I want to give you a heads up. I heard there was going to be a USDA.
You're way behind, Dave. You're way behind.
Yeah, that ship sailed. Nah, it didn't work out at all.
Got caught.
Yeah.
Oh man. Okay. Well,
I had it all set up.
News travels slow here in Williamston. I forgot. Okay.
Once I realized Frank had retired, it just didn't make sense. So I bailed out on that.
Okay. All right. Never mind. All right, guys.
Dave, if you think news travels slow in Williamston, you should see how it goes in Alaska.
Hey, I knew about before Dave did.
That's true. Very true. Very true. What about Jason?
What about Jason?
Does news travel faster than Jason?
Of course it does.
Okay.
Of course it does. It's at speed of light, baby. The speed of light.
What the hell is Jason?
So where I live, Matt. What do you mean? What the hell is Jason?
Jason.
All right, so Jason is a little community.
It's like Friday the 13th.
Yeah.
It's a little community off 903 in between LaGrange and Snow Hill. I have a LaGrange address. I just say Kyle from LaGrange because nobody knows where the hell Jason is. Hell, a lot of people don't know where LaGrange is. So yeah, I'm on 903 right in between
Texas
LaGrange and Snow Hill.
You're in Texas.
Yeah,
What?
Jason just doesn't have that ring to it.
No, it does not. And so that's where I am. There was count them, 3 volunteer fire trucks from Jason in the LaGrange Christmas parade today. So how about that?
Interesting.
Every one of them, I would imagine.
Yeah, probably, yes.
If there was a fire, they'd be in trouble.
We're going to make a new Christmas movie called Kyle Saves Christmas.
You know what? We had the Pumpkin King. So,
I won't get back to the Pumpkin King again.
We got to have a sequel to it. Where me and Jessica will have a new Hallmark Christmas movie coming out sometime between now and Christmas.
Great acting too, guys. If you haven't seen it.
You know what? I overacted on purpose, just like those homos in the and I mean that term endearingly. In the I forgot you can't say that anymore. In the Hallmark movie,
we just got canceled. It's been great. We've had a nice time.
Well, you know what? Don't smear anyone. But I don't give a damn. They can cancel me. Cancel me. I don't care. Anyway, the Pumpkin King was fantastic. I overacted on purpose, Stevie. That was intentional overacting.
Yeah, I know.
So.
All right, enjoy. You can enjoy watching that this weekend. Ernest Saves Christmas. How many people? I want to do a Ernest Saves Christmas challenge. How many are going to watch that? And we'll find out next Sunday night. Guys, had a great time. We'll get out of here. And as always, it's Sunday night, and you've been watching TSO. Good night.
You're watching The Sports Objective, the podcast for Pirates.